smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
So chase greatness and start understanding that he's gonna make everybody better.
Tape never lies.
I don't want to see your tape breakdowns if you cannot show me things that are negative about a guy that's on your current team.
Hashtag chase greatness. Hashtag take that.
Keep it 100.
Because I'll make this one more time clear. Caden Whitlow, cut it.
Keeping it 100.
He is the best quarterback I have ever scouted on tape.
The Chicago Bears select.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Break it down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keep it in 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the fake and anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're moused up like the true and now and latest. Debaters, straws get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sack strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane.
Give me some fucking names in 2 fucking games.
Fuck a play or a captain, all of the up there. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like trip sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keep it 100, baby.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping it
man.
100.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Down there. I don't know if that right foot actually touched the ground.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Ivan Vargas. This is Keeping It 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network, the best show on the fucking planet. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Share with your papa, share with your mother, share with it. Be careful about sharing it with your mom because you know how
I love Cherie's mom.
Be careful with sharing with your mama, but share us everywhere. The Tape Never Lies Network, www.thetapeneverlies.com. Become a patron today. Let me go ahead and bring them out. DDP and Shane, the smartest man. What is up, boys?
Hey.
What up? There he is. Ivan Vargas coming in hot.
Yeah.
Like
Sounded like
Caleb Williams' pink iPhone. Hot.
the Tatoshan siren Ivan Vargas version.
Yes.
Coming in hot.
Tatoshan's echo has flat earthers questioning if the earth is flat. As it continues to roam, as excited as he was that Caleb Williams, spoiler alert, was drafted by the Chicago Bears first overall. That has never happened, Shane. The Bears picking first overall.
No.
Historic move made by the Bears.
We've been at 3 and went up to 2, and nobody wants to. Actually, the one video that I remember from that night is our guest.
Our guest.
He went live immediately and was not
And
happy.
he was right.
Yes, he was very much so.
When you go later on, the conspiracy, that was our friend from the top ropes like Jimmy Superfly Snuka. He was right. He had issues with Trubisky. Then Bears fans attacked him like they attacked Shane and I for having issues with Justin Fields. He's about to tag in as he enjoys the Illuminatis that we sent over to him.
The Illuminatis.
The Illuminati, flat earthers. How many
That made Cap super happy.
What's that dude? He's the best freestyle rapper I've ever seen. What's his name? The white dude. You give him three words.
The white dude, that guy.
Oh man.
Yeah, he just did it for the Yankees.
He did it for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, the whole locker room, the whole Yankees locker room.
Otani was even happy. He's fucking hitting everything.
Oh God. That wasn't. I didn't say
Harry
that.
Mack. Thank you.
Kenny Andrews, thank you.
See
I
how
would've
many
never guessed it.
conspiracies we can get in. What are those? The anaconda. The anaconda. I can't remember that.
I don't know where you're going.
Well, anyway, they brought us, Shane. You never saw Prometheus. The Anunnaki. Thank you. The Anunnakis brought the human beings to this planet. Speaking of human beings, let's bring them out the way we know how. We love this guy. We had to change his intro because YouTube's algorithm kept emailing Shane and I that we did something wrong when we didn't do anything wrong. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right, Adam Rank. Let's bring him out. You know him from the NFL Network. He's a brother from another. He's always the man, the national media guy that actually wears the home team's jersey. He always supports his team, not other teams like the Buffalo Bills. Let's bring him out. Adam Rank.
At this point, this guy doesn't even need an introduction. But we're gonna give him one anyway. We already know he's every Bears fan favorite analyst from the NFL Network.
Come meet me at Portillo's and let's get it on.
Versatility is the name of the game, and he has it in spades. Regular season, fantasy season, NFL playoffs, free agency, and the NFL draft. He's got it all covered. Bears fans, TTNL fans, get up out your seats and give it up for TTNL royalty.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
He's also the first ever guest of the TTNL Network.
Spoiler alert.
He's Adam Rank.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Adam Rank. We can't hear you. I have no idea. We can't hear him. Hold on.
Stop it. I got
There
you.
he is on it.
There's so many things. No, I was just going to say there's so many things to get into as I sit here. First of all, I don't know if you ever watch old movies. Like if you're watching the old original, like Ocean's 11, it's 8 minutes of credits, which is like watching your show. Like they're 8 minutes of credits. And then like, here comes a small cold open, then 8 more minutes of credits. If you're still here through all of that, it's been 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and you guys have taken shots at my friend Kyle.
Yes.
Flat earthers, and that's it. That's all we've talked about. I feel bad. I don't want to come into a thing because somehow I got onto Flat Earth TikTok, and then I started feeling bad because I feel like it's like a religious thing, and I don't want to be like, I don't want to minimize anybody's religion or anything like. By the way, have you ever watched this movie called Star Wars?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? There's a scene, it's episode 4. It's the first one that came out in the theater, 77. And Darth Vader's sitting at this conference room with his coworkers, and his coworker just goes like, hey, yeah, that whole Jedi religion, that's like, who does that? Who can sit in a conference room in any galaxy and just make fun of somebody's religion like that? Like, could you imagine you're working for IBM and you're like, oh yeah, I heard you're into that, eh? Hey, that's garbage, like whatever happened. And if you got force choked, I would have to allow it. I wouldn't be like Tarkin and tell him to stop it. I'd be like, he kind of deserves it because that guy's being a jerk. So I've gotten into flat Earth TikTok, and I'm like, I don't know if this is can you
I go down those rabbit holes.
I get it, but it's like,
interesting.
Speaking of Star Wars, could you not imagine 2,000 years into the future, people are quoting the scripture of Luke Skywalker, and you're like, oh no, the Sith took over. You're like, no, it was a story from back, whatever. No disrespect to anybody. So I feel bad. I don't mean to make fun of it.
Shot it.
I don't mean to make fun of it. The guy who has the ice wall hat, and he's like, you don't really think that we're just sitting on a ball of liquid magma, do you? I'm like, no, well, maybe not. Give me something to gnaw on here. He's like, we're in the eyeball of a giant dragon. You're like, you know what? I would have been with you. I would have listened to you, but I don't know if of the two things, whether we're in the eyeball of a dragon or whatever the spinning sphere of water attached by gravity. I listen, I would love to hear an alternative point of view, but he went a little too far. You're like, nah, okay. Hey, like my child walks up, it's like, hey, I think the earth is made of cotton candy. You're like, you know what? You could start a TikTok account, and you would probably get 1 million followers being like, yeah, I think this kid's right. I think this kid's nailed it. If you, I'm sorry, I've insulted a bunch of people. I don't want to read the comments because I'm sure they're upset at me right now. I don't mean to take. Listen.
You took shots at our intro for being long. We pride ourselves on
your long intro. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, if you don't have the content, I agree. Let's go. Let's fill it up. That was a shot. That was legitimately a shot. How are you guys though? How is everybody today?
Doing good.
I heard Norm Macdonald as well. You, Shane?
Yeah.
No,
I saw somebody.
Not at all.
Have you heard his son? Norm's son?
No.
He just accepted an award for his dad a couple of weeks ago, and he sounds even his cadence
like Adam Rank.
Exactly. He's got the cadence down.
Yeah, big time.
You do a great impression of him as well.
No.
If you're new to Adam Rank and on a flat planet or around Earth, Adam also does stand-up comedy.
Yep.
Stand-up comedy and travels around the planet as well. So
I haven't run into the ice wall yet. I will tell. Couldn't you fly over the ice wall? Wouldn't you just be like,
they shoot you down for real.
They shoot you down. Not Elon. Elon Musk, get in a jet.
Could he buy
over the ice wall?
Please.
Just see. That's what I'm in.
I want him to buy the Bears before he finds out what's behind the ice wall.
Yes, that is very true.
Let's start there.
Okay.
The new, obviously, you were here draft night, but let's talk Soldier Field. We'll start there. Shane, we had
the physical structure.
The structure is now by the lakefront, but we had.
By the way, I love that
it's Arlington Heights.
Can I say something about this? And I know that we were not able to do our show this evening for a myriad of reasons. Part of which is I had a commitment with the LA Angels, and Sammy and Anello are down at the NHL draft. So we kind of got into a thing, but I was going to talk about this tonight about this thing. Like I said this weeks ago, is that Kevin Warren wisely. And White, go back and look at this thing, because I swear this is exactly what happened. Like they're trying to negotiate with Arlington Heights, and the Rams went through the same thing with the city of Inglewood. There was a time where the ownership group of the Rams, Stan Kroenke, was like, I know we bought this land, but we might build a Walmart. They're like, we're real estate developers. We might not even build a stadium here. Where you're like, you're building a stadium there. There's no way. And the great thing that Kevin Warren can do now with all the AI technology, I swear to you, this is what happened. Like he probably told some intern, said like, hey, can you take 10 minutes and build an AI stadium by the lake? Go look at that photo of the alleged stadium they would put in the lake. It's so AI because there's no parking. There's no nothing. It's just like a
Softball
stadium,
field.
and they're like, God, like some kid put this information into his thing, and it was enough to get the city of Arlington Heights to be like, yeah, okay, like that's okay, fine. We won't give out school lunches so we can build a stadium for the Bears. So that's what they did, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And we'll have a stadium in Arlington Heights at some point. That's my firm belief.
Yeah, we had our guy Jim Larison on. He's a big fan of yours. He's a huge reason why this network exists, and he's damn near an expert on the political and financials of stadium in Chicago and the ownership and all of that. And he was like, 1,000% the Bears are going to build at Arlington Heights. This 0% chance that they build it at where Soldier Field is now at. So our fans have been ready for this. It seems like a political tug of war in regards to taxes and benefits and grants and how they're going to do it. I think I'm struggling with what they should call it. Like the Disneyland should be Bears Land in Arlington Heights, where they have roller coasters, an amusement park, a casino. They should just do it up the best way that you can, because football and the Bears obviously are number one in Chicago by a long shot. It's not close in regards to, so why not build it to the brinks? You've been to the stadium where the Rams play, SoFi, and I remember you texted me like, bro, this is unbelievable what it's like to watch a game and experience it here. That's what you got to feel like when you go to Chicago, the charter franchise.
No, for sure. And honestly, if you've ever been to whatever the title sponsor is for Minnesota, their stadium is incredible as well. Energy Field, places like that. Anytime you go around the NFL and you start to experience these domes or anything like that, you understand, like, at some point Chicago is going to build this. Like, this is what they need. And for the Bears to be competitive for generations to come, they have to have these revenue streams. And it's one of the things that, Al Davis fought for back in the 80s was additional revenue streams to make his team competitive, especially for families that own teams and not corporations. And so I truly believe that this has been the plan for the Bears all along. And like you said, there's a lot of things that go on through taxes and grants and everything like that. And at some point during any of this, you have to play the like, well, we could just go over here. And I'm sure if you go back through Kevin Warren's track record in Minnesota, there was probably a point where they were probably threatening to build the stadium at the Mall of America site where the old Met was, or anything like that, where you're like, hey, we could put it here. And then somebody eventually caves. You give them enough of a nudge and they would go out and do that. And so I think for the Bears, it's very similar. Like, they own the land. Like, they're not like, what else are they going to do? This is not a family that develops real estate. Like, at least Kroenke had that, where it was a terrible bluff. It wasn't really plausible, because that land had been approved for an NFL stadium back when the Rams and the Raiders were looking for a spot in '94. So it wasn't much of a bluff, but enough of it to just get the ball rolling. And similarly, the Bears had to do something as well with like, oh, we could always just put it in the lakefront. And obviously, when the governor comes out and everybody else is like, that's impossible. Like, there's no way that would ever go in there. But still, you make the city of Arlington Heights, the village of Arlington Heights, a little bit apprehensive. Like, okay, yeah, we can't blow this. We can't fumble this bag, because it is going to mean so much to that city and to that region and that part of the greater Chicagoland area. So it will get built there, and it will be a pretty massive site, and it'll come in spaces. And even out here at SoFi Stadium, it's still building in waves. The casino's there. Yeah. The Intuit Dome, where the LA Clippers play, is going to be finished this summer. So I think the Clippers will start playing there, and slowly but surely it is starting to come along. And you're like, okay, yeah, like at some point, I hope to be there long enough to see it all come to fruition. If you ever go to Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, like you saw that place go from just miles of empty land to a full buildup. And that's exactly what it's going to look like at SoFi. That's what it will look like at Arlington Heights. And so it's just the way the business has to be done with the NFL. Like you can't just build something for 12 weekends a year. You need a full year-round revenue stream, and that's what they're going to do.
The major point for me was during the whole process when everybody was talking, want to keep it in the city, and the mayor's out there, and Kevin Warren was like, this was our truly our sole focus, and you were never going to own the stadium in the city. That in and of itself to me that's the killer to the whole thing. You go out and you invest whatever it was, 250, 300 million into the land in Arlington Heights, and then you're going to build in the city, and plus you're not going to own it. And like you said, Adam, the rollout, and when they're showing the graphics of the new stadium, no parking. I talked to one guy, and they're like, because the Bears don't give a shit about parking. They know you love football, so they're going to say you're going to find a place to park and get your ass to the game. But then again, you go to Kansas City, and there's people tailgating everywhere. It's an event. It's like a college football atmosphere. You go down to Tuscaloosa, and the motorhomes are coming in on a Tuesday for a Saturday game. And that's exactly what Chicago should have around the Chicago Bears, a kick-ass place where it can be an event before the actual event. Should be like that every week.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things, working with the NFL Network studios are right next to SoFi Stadium. And even when you arrive at 6 a.m. for a morning show on a Sunday, like seeing the motorhomes and people in their trucks ready to go, ready to get after it, I think that is a huge thing. And it is something that makes the NFL experience pretty incredible. And I think that's what you'd want in Chicago. For myself, I'm so used to going into the stadium anyways. So it's like, it seems pretty cool. But at some point, when you go as a fan, you want to have that thing. Even the Chargers, who have like 12 fans, they still have their lightning alley that you got to walk through. You're like, this is still pretty cool. Like it reminds you of a Division II college football team, but still it's pretty cool. And you want to enjoy that.
Jim. They got our guy Harbs.
I know. They got our guy Harbaugh.
Kick it up, that's going to kick it up a notch.
It is interesting how that's going to work out. Like, this is the one franchise where they could really test the mettle of Jim Harbaugh. Like, listen, if you can revive this franchise, I think it'll be pretty huge. I mean, the great Marty Schottenheimer gave it a chance and couldn't quite get it over the top, but we'll see. I'm rooting for the Chargers. I'm pulling for them because of Jim Harbaugh.
Who's the coach? Bobby Ross? Was Bobby Ross right?
Yeah.
He brought them Stan Humphries.
Yeah.
Stan Humphries.
Stan Humphries. Natrone Means.
Yes.
Yes. Natrone Means business.
Yeah.
Adam, Caleb Williams, pink phone, painted nails, all of it.
Yeah.
All died a miserable death for the haters. And now they sit and anticipate the next fall. And I just want to put this out there before training camp that I am not going to allow the blog boy or analyst or fanalist, whoever, to keep track or keep score of what's transpiring in practice. I've never seen it anywhere else but Chicago. And I think this year we have to plan accordingly, especially with you being our champ on the national stage for us Bears fans, to subdue these guys like Dan Orlovsky, Tim Hasselback, and every other backup quarterback that stepped out of bounds, right? So it's up to you. I'm giving you the ball to tamp it down, because everybody knows practice is where you make mistakes and you learn as a young quarterback. In the game is where you hope those mistakes are learned progressions of non-mistakes. That's what we want to do. So are you with me in that, preparing the fan base for those haters to go out there? I mean, we saw a glimpse of that. Me and Shane were attacking some of these fanboys that were putting almost interception stats out there.
Right.
No,
it is. And it honestly, I know that it's very personal to us right now, but it's been happening over the last number of years. And I will go back to when, Jamar Chase was a rookie and he made the mistake about talking about the white stripe on a football. And then everybody acted like he couldn't catch the thing anymore. Yeah. And that's the problem with so much content being available and allowing fans into these practice sessions who really have no business being there. I mean, it's kind of akin to going out and watching Scotty Scheffler on the practice range and be like, oh, he's shanked or whatever. Like, he didn't get the draw. And then, like, that's where you go out there and you work on stuff, and where you don't want to be judged is on the practice facility and on the practice range and doing stuff like that. And you go out there and learn. And when you're Caleb Williams going up against one of the top defenses in the NFL, you're going to make some mistakes. And the defense is trying to test him, and they're trying to get the most out of him because they know that their best path of success is really putting this kid through the rigors and letting him, and like trying not to take it easy on him. It's not like a parent allowing their child to beat them in a game on one-on-one. Like, they're trying to make them better in a sense of like iron sharpens iron. So we're going to see the best out of the Bears defense during this sessions and during these practices, because they really want to like not only get after Caleb, but they know that honestly, the best part of it at the end of the day is getting the most out of him and getting like everything and getting the best out of him and getting him to really elevate his game. And if you want to sit there and practice and start keeping track of statistics and things of that nature, then it really does nobody any good.
Yeah, the Bears had, sorry, Shane, a hyped up, I don't know what happened to it, Shane, but maybe it was Terrence Howard's AI for Mitch Trubisky. They kept promoting this computer software that they purchased for their quarterbacks to go through
the virtual reality.
But here, to Adam, your point, a well-coached football team's coach is going to tell his defense, hey, especially with a rookie, I need you to give him the best simulated looks that we can get to make everybody better. Not just Caleb, but everybody better. And that's really where I think Coach Eberflus is growing in understanding, hey, he's our quarterback. That's it. Put that to bed. He's going to be working on, and we're going to be working on getting better always. That's a different vibe. That brings me back to Ditka. Finally, we didn't hear that from any other coach until now, where we are with Caleb Williams. And really, I think Caleb welcomes it. I think Caleb welcomes that.
Well, we saw that too. I mean, we saw it today with who was it? Jeffrey Simmons, who was talking about like, I'm so happy that he's got his painted nails and everything like that. When you go out, like when you go to the mall, like think of all the kids who you went to high school with or anything like that, who had purple mohawks, who had like the Bauhaus t-shirts and everything like that. Like, you know what you're doing. Like, you're attracting attention, and you can't be upset. Like, why is this person looking at me while I'm wearing eyeliner or anything like that? I think Caleb Williams is pretty aware of the fact that he's probably drawing attention to himself. And I also don't think he gives it. I don't think he cares. I just literally don't think he gives a shit. And he's like, okay, like, fine. You don't like my fingernails. You don't like my phone case, like whatever. And I know that Jeffrey Simmons is
that was his video. Player. Remember that? The pink phone and lip gloss. Your girl loves it.
That girl loves it. And somebody like Jeffrey Simmons, who is still like not necessarily an old person, but like comes off like a boomer, where like Caleb Williams is like, okay, boomer, like whatever you think, like I don't care. Like, I'm a different generation. I'm a younger generation. Like, we don't think the way that you do. And when they go out there and beat the Tennessee Titans 30-10 in week 1, I don't think that it's going to matter. Like you're just going to look dumb at that point. Like, how did that go? Like you're like, as much as Caleb opens himself up when he does stuff like that, I feel confident in him. Be like, okay, like Caleb will get this handled. I feel bad for Jeffrey Simmons, who's going to have to sit there and answer and be like, he's going to be in the lineup. He's going to be in the locker room, after that game, all hat in hand, like, oh no, I never said he was a bad quarterback. I just, or whatever. And he's going to have to answer for that. It's like, well, this guy that and what you're saying when you're inferring what you're inferring, and that guy just beat you. So wear that and enjoy it. And I think at some point after the first 4 weeks of the season, it'll become less and less of an issue as the Bears continue to win games. So have your fun now and talk about that kind of stuff like it's important to you. And it's not, but and it is what it is. And it reminds me too, because like, I know people don't understand this and it seems ridiculous to almost bring this up, but it's like when Jim McMahon was coming into the NFL and he was wearing sunglasses and headbands, like there were old people who thought like that was like, he's disrespecting the game. He showed up, because there was alcohol in the limo.
Remember, he got
took him to Hallis Hall or whatnot. And he was drinking it. And like, people are like, this guy doesn't understand and will never make it in the NFL. And it's like, yeah, they usually do. Like he'll be fine. And I think similarly, Caleb Williams is going to be just fine.
I totally agree. And I think you hit it on the head, Adam, again, when he's just different. He embraces all of this. You hear him. It just sounds different when he even does a post-practice presser or whatever. Some of the media will ask him a question. You could just hear it. Like Justin would get monotone and just kind of, spill out, whatever, and just say what he had to say to get out of there just as quick as possible. Mitch kind of the same way. Caleb he's raising the level of expectations that are already super high.
Yeah.
And that's so un-Chicago Bear like this entire offseason has been. And I think that's where a lot of the hatred from people that are anti Caleb that are still Bears fans comes from, is because we've been so conditioned to getting kicked in the balls with every single big move. And now you've been gifted the number 1 overall pick, quote unquote, generational talent. You're just expecting it to go wrong. And you have this kid come out and he's like talking about, I want to win 8 Super Bowls. And it's just talking about turning the TVs off. It's such a huge gap in between what we're used to and where we are now. So it's a big, big difference to me.
Yeah, I always hate to say it because like I never want to feel like I'm dragging Justin and like whatever his personality is. And I'm still, I'm rooting for him in Pittsburgh. But it's so interesting because like Justin was so like business-like, where he was just, he's very stoic. Like he made Bud Grant look like Carrot Top at times, where you're just like, like does he's so stoic, where Caleb's just embracing everything. And whether you like the fact that he's going out there and joining in with the fans who are saying Packers sucks or anything like that, he does it. I guess the best way to put it is that it really feels like he loves being the quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Not that he's in the NFL or like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a pro or whatever. Like he sounds like somebody who is very happy to be the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, the Bears. And I think every time he leaves the podium and he leans back in and he goes, the Bears, like I think that's cool. And I had Tyson Bagent on my show after he won his first game, and he was doing the whole thing, and he came on like it immediately was like the Bears, and he was like really like, and he was really into it as well. And I really want to find those kind of players or those kind of personalities of people who are like, you like playing for this team, you love being an NFL player, which is great. You should. You've made it to you've fulfilled the dream.
Yes.
But there are certain people who are like, I really love being a Chicago Bear. And as we sit here and we start celebrating players like Steve Mongo McMichael, who will be going into the Hall of Fame this summer, like there was a guy who just loved being a Chicago Bear. Like he liked being in the NFL. He loved being a professional. He loved getting paid, but he also loved being a Chicago Bear. And we've already seen that from Caleb Williams. And I'm not sure that we've seen it from other quarterbacks over the last number of years.
Well,
I agree.
I
And
want to piggyback on that.
Just real
too.
quick.
Go ahead.
The other night I had texted you about it, Phil. Braxton Jones and Tyreek Stevenson were playing cornhole on ESPN2, whatever it was. And Tyreek Stevenson's team won, and they were interviewing him after it was over. And he's like, oh, yeah, just like Caleb says, duh, Bears, and walked away. So it's catching on, and these guys are believing in their quarterback. I've always been anti-duh Bears because of the 85, and I'm so sick of talking about 1985. Let's talk about something next. But you're right. It's the bear down, the bear claw, all of that. It's something different. It's catching on, and seemingly Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze are the leaders of it.
And I wanted to tap into Steve McMichael. You brought up Jim McMahon, and you brought up the Bears. Ryan Poles clearly has tapped into something that I will say at this network I've preached since its inception, that the Chicago Bears failed in the discovering and finding of football players first.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Poles has done exactly what my father, myself, Shane had talked about, is finding football players that love the game, but also love the history and the Chicago Bears. And the GM has made it a priority of TJ Edwards. He grew up a Bears fan. Cole Kmet. These guys, he's surrounding these players in there. Roma Dunze's favorite player was Devin Hester. These little connections back to the franchise, when you tap into it. I'll never forget Zorich coming on the show, and he's a Bears fan, and Notre Dame, and fans love him, and he gets to Chicago, and it's after post 85, and he's playing with some of his heroes, and he had this feeling let down, not knowing. There's Clay.
There he is. Hey, buddy.
He had this feeling like everybody didn't love being a Bear like he did.
Yeah.
And it would be disappointing to him. So I feel like Poles is doing such an amazing job capturing this franchise, players that love it, understand it, and then getting a guy like Caleb Williams, who's got that Mike Tyson, that quality, like he's walking into the ring and is very confident. We have not had that in a long time here at this franchise, and we're seeing it right now. We're seeing it play out.
And it was very controversial when Mike Tyson used to walk in with his black boots and no socks, and a very different look than a lot of boxers back in the day.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And that's what Caleb's doing. Like, I know I've seen a couple of comments here that are rolling through where like Caleb has that, like he has the confidence.
Right.
He's shown it over a long period of time, be it at Oklahoma, be it at USC. Like he's shown it. And that's the one difference between him and like somebody like Mitch Trubisky. And Mitch Trubisky, and the reason that I hated that pick back in the day and why I was on board with Justin, but I hated the Mitch Trubisky pick was like, there's too many times where players get drafted on attributes without actually seeing it on the field. Like, well, his measurables and his arm strength, and his spin rate on his pass is like, that stuff doesn't matter if you don't see it on the field. And with Caleb, we've seen it on the field. And Caleb Williams is the only first-round quarterback this season who did not have a receiver drafted in the first 5 rounds this year. Now, people will be like, well, a couple of years ago was I forget who the USC receiver was, Jordan Addison. They're like, well, yeah, Jordan Addison. Well, yeah, when he won the Heisman, yes, but he showed last year that he was still very good without anybody to speak of. Guys who are likely going to be training camp cuts or put on a practice squad. Caleb was out there dealing. He wasn't one of these guys who went from college to the NFL and his receiving room actually got worse. Like it's not typical for that to happen. but there was a quarterback recently who might or might not have been in Bears history, whose wide receiver room got worse when he got to the NFL. And there's a guy who might or might not be a rookie this year, whose wide receiver room got worse when he went to the NFL. I don't think we have that problem with Caleb Williams.
Yeah, you're not going to see that problem. And I also think the talent. I was on your show.
Yeah.
And I said this then. I'm sorry, Cynthia Froyland, but the best quarterback I've ever scouted in my time of doing this, my 30 plus years of scouting, I've never seen a quarterback on the college level play the way Caleb plays in all aspects, all structures of throwing, the anticipation balls. In the ultimate team sport, when these guys throw wins and losses and not recognize that the defense is probably the worst defense in college football,
right?
That of course he's going to have to play some hero ball if you're going to compete. And guess what? That Mike Tyson mentality, that confidence, that swagger when he walks into the arena, he's going to try to put the team on his back. He's not going to go down and protect his stats like a Jay Cutler would. And that's just the reality of where it was. And if watching the tape of his senior year, it gets bitten by the likes of everybody because it's convenient. But you watch it, the dude is a champ in regards to what he was able to put on tape last year.
Yeah. No, it's true. No, he's getting in trouble now.
He's getting mom after him?
That's fine. You can turn it off. Here, him it. But here, can I just
Roma Dunze.
Yeah. Sorry. No, sorry. My phone got turned on. I had an alarm hit. And sorry. In any event, Roma Dunze, great player. At some point, that it's so interesting. As I sit back there, we've talked about this at great length on my show and on everything else. Is like, had the Bears just walked away with Roma Dunze, like you'd look like, it's a pretty good draft, that was it. And they got two guys in the top 10, and it's not even us who are saying it. It was actually Sauce Gardner who looked at the Bears, and a famous tweet that came out around draft time where he was like, how do the Bears have two picks in the top? Like, how do a team that good have two picks in the top 10, especially with like no major injuries? Now, the Jets had the 10th overall selection, which I think is what drew his attention to it. And you're like, like your quarterback was out for the whole year, so it makes sense that you would be picking in the top 10. But no, the Bears, ended up with the number 1 overall pick. Thank you very much, Carolina. And, they ended up with the number 9 overall selection, and just have that kind of like being able to pull that off. Like you hope, you anticipate 5 years from now, looking back at it and being like, I can't believe that's, the way that kind of worked out. And it's just, you hope it is the case, but it really does go to show too, a little bit about how much the Bears have kind of, or at least have a different approach, because I guarantee you that had this been, Ryan Pace or somebody like that, they would have had that number 9 overall pick. And instead of getting a guy who, and the Bears looked like they had him like as their number 2 prospect on the board, that they didn't
look. It's
like a lot of, they did. And I think a lot of people were saying this too. And like, trade down and bank picks and do this. And it's like, there is something to be said about having 2 top 10 guys. And honestly, looking at Daniel Jeremiah's top board too, like 2 top 5 guys, like, no, like once you have an opportunity like this, you got to go for it. And it's something that the Houston Texans went for last year, where they got CJ Stroud, and then they moved back up into the draft and got not Dallas Turner. It was Will Anderson Jr. And that's the kind of moves that make teams get better, Exactly. And so when you look at it, that's what the Bears did, and they didn't have to move up. That's the best part of it. I think that we saw that clip of Ryan Poles sitting there like, what do they do? Like he thought that the Giants were going to take Rome Odunze. And you could tell the wheels were spinning that like, do we have to trade up? Do we just sit and wait? Do we see what happens? I'm curious to know what they might have done if Odunze had gone to number 8, because I look at the foul like this. I think this will end up showing the difference between some of these organizations, because I had talked about this when Total Access was still a thing on the NFL Network. And we were talking about what should the Falcons do? And I know that they didn't go with Dallas Turner, obviously. You were looking at it and you're like, well, Dallas Turner makes a lot of sense, but I thought that the Falcons, and I didn't write this in my mock draft with a twist because I wanted Rome Odunze to go to the Bears and I didn't want to breathe this. I didn't want to make this a thing or convince the Falcons. Like the Falcons should have been the team that drafted Rome Odunze. They drafted the wrong guy from Washington. And you look at the Falcons, they make, and it's no coincidence that Ryan Pace is on that staff, where it's like, well, we have Drake London and we have Kyle Pitts, and well, we signed Darnell Mooney, so we're good. We don't need this other guy. Let's draft a quarterback to back up the guy who just signed a 4-year guaranteed, deal, instead of being like, no, let's add another piece to go to this offense to perhaps be better than we've been over the last number of years. And I think that's the difference that the Bears have made, is that instead of just being like, well, we traded for Keenan Allen already, let's draft a guard, that would, I was just waiting for that. But, the good fortune of the Bears is that they made the deal to go out there and get Rome Odunze. And I think it ended up working out pretty well.
Yeah. In that clip, Shane texted me that 1920, then Roku. I don't know if you saw the Roku NFL draft behind the scenes, which goes through everybody's, behind the scene with the Rams. They're trying to trade up to get up there, and the Bears are trying to trade up. So it's very easy to see Ian Cunningham calm Ryan Poles down.
You really think you need to? That's what he said to him.
And then Ryan Poles unveils it. Like, can you believe we got our number 1 and number 2 prospects?
Yeah, Cunningham says that's Poles. Yeah, number 1 and number 2.
We got our number 1 and number 2, and then Poles goes at 9. We got our 2 at 9. And I just could see me and Shane being that same duo there, doing that, like high-fiving, because I would be like him, like, I got to get up in front of the Giants.
You got to trade up to number 2 for Odunze. That's what Phil would be doing.
But the energy of Odunze and Caleb Williams is something that I have not seen since 85. The personalities that are just free-spirited authenticity, it's so refreshing to watch. Justin Fields would drive me insane because I felt like just how he handled himself. It's a 180 between the two of them and how they handle themselves. And I have always been a big believer in that's an important part. It says a lot about you, how you're able to handle the adversity and questions, because a lot of the Chicago media haven't been easy on him. And he is able to handle himself just like he does in the pocket. And let's just be honest, the guy reeks of positive energy and confidence. It's not arrogance. It's fucking confidence that he's going to go out there and he's going to prove all these people wrong. And we haven't had that Aaron Rodgers mentality, because that you can hate him. I hated him. I respected the hell out of Aaron Rodgers, the talent, and I hated the swagger and the silent assassin and the snickering and I own you.
But we'll love it. That's Caleb.
Yeah. Caleb.
No, and it's true. And I know you were talking about the 85 Bears, but I think the Bears of the 2000s during the Lovie Smith era, they did have players who were like that, who were very confident, but it was on the defensive side of the football.
And
it's been a long time it's been a long time.
Right.
Probably having to go back to the 85 Bears of when we've had that confidence on the offensive side of the football. I know a lot of people don't realize that the Bears of 85 were the number 2 ranked offense in the NFL. And perhaps, and if anybody who talks to Jim McMahon will know that had Mike Ditka kind of unleashed the team a little bit, we might have seen the full arsenal of Jim McMahon. But the thing is like, yeah, to see it from the offensive side of the football has been great. And when we look back at the draft and you think about Caleb Williams, flying to Detroit, and he was on the same flight as Rome Odunze. Like, it was preordained. And anybody who's convinced that the NFL is rigged or anything like that could be like, well, this is kind of, I almost want to think like you who's going where so much, but that clip from 1920 kind of convinced you like, maybe they don't, maybe we don't. Cause like the Falcons thing was clearly out of left field.
Everybody.
The Giants, with Poles sitting there wondering like,
just
hey,
real quick, Adam, before you move off of Atlanta, I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you see the promo that they put out for the off-season Hard Knocks covering the Giants?
No, you sent it, but I haven't.
They're in the Giants war room. They're on the clock at number 6, and Atlanta calls the Giants.
No way.
To move up to 6
to get Penix.
Joe Shane is like, we got Atlanta on the phone. Do we want to stick and pick? And then he goes on the phone. And he goes, well, what are you thinking to come up? So
but
we
don't hear what they
don't say.
Oh,
they don't show it in the promo.
Yeah,
but
they might on the show.
Ryan Pace is in it. It's the Mitch Trubisky thing all over again.
Yeah.
Of move it,
Giants
head over
saves
heels
them
for a guy, and moving and giving up, legit assets when you don't need to. But I saw that and I had to rewind it and watch it again. I'm like, holy shit! Everybody was blown away at 8, and they were trying to move up to 6.
That would have been the greatest. That would have been the greatest part of the draft. And it really, I'm curious as to what would have happened, because the teams that were in between, like the Titans were in there, who went offensive. They went offensive tackle. I'm trying to think, who else? Who am I missing?
Chargers went offensive tackle.
No, the Chargers were 6 though. The Chargers were 5.
5th.
5.
The Giants were 6, then
Giants
Tennessee, then Atlanta, then Chicago.
That's right. Yeah, I'm curious if what kind of waves that would have sent off had they made that. And it was such a wild pick, especially for Michael Penix, which I don't know, maybe he will be good. And at some point I'll go back and have to own that. But
I like Penix a lot.
I like him, but I could not have made. I wouldn't have. There's no way in hell under the circumstances I could have done that.
When we see, are the Giants dumb for not taking that trade?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I hope they give us what the offer was from Atlanta, because that'll be interesting. Because
even if it was for a 4th round pick or something like that, I'm assuming it had to be a little bit more. It really is free. And I think Tennessee was locked in
on Latham.
Yeah, if Tennessee, because Tennessee already had 3 veteran wide receivers in their room. They had D-Hop, Calvin Ridley.
It was either going to be the Notre Dame offensive tackle or Latham. Or Latham.
Yeah.
I think. And to me, I think if Odunze was not there for Chicago, I think they're moving down.
No, I would say they'd bounce as well. Like if somebody had jumped ahead of them, if something like that happened, if the Jets had moved up or something of that nature, I'm pretty confident the Bears would have moved down. But when you get an opportunity to get a player who is your number 2 guy, you got to go out there and make that move.
Especially at number 9 overall.
Neighbors, just the personality alone, it pushes him down under Odunze. When you have that kind of clean prospect, those 2 talents offer different things. I had Odunze as my number 1 receiver in the whole draft too, with the Bears. Clearly, now we were step for step, and Neighbors was my number 2, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. 3. I'm not a big believer in Marvin, but that'll be another story for another day. But Neighbors, back to the Giants real quick. we got some Giants fans watching the show. Neighbors is openly criticizing freaking the Giants quarterback Daniel Jones, and
he was here in New York on his visit.
Yeah,
and it was all over the place
Yeah.
here locally. And he's like, yeah, they know if they pick me, they got to get a quarterback that can get me the ball. That was the first question that he answered. And that's the way that he answered it. It's like, oh boy,
they took him anyway. They took him anyway. I agree with Ryan Cox. Odunze and Caleb Williams just have this Mamba mentality about them. And Rank, you couldn't have put it any better. Being on the plane, synergy wise. And then the other clip from 1920 is Caleb Williams' reaction to the Bears taking Odunze.
Yeah.
Some producer, I don't know who it was, is like, what just happened? And he's like, we got our guy. We got our boy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like authentic. You know what I'm saying? And when he came out and screamed at him for that for me, my son screaming in this microphone and knocking it out, I'll never forget. But also Caleb Williams, all the rumors that he doesn't remember. It started with bear down cuz your boy, all of them.
Oh, don't bring him down. Don't bring him into this.
I gotta break his balls a little. I love him.
No, I mean, like,
he would break mine too.
We've all been blown up by sources before, and it happens.
I'm just saying, he had the scream excitement that he was a Bear. His dad didn't ask for ownership. The
funniest part is like he's been anti, like, as an Ohio State guy, and I don't mean to speak for Mikey, but as a Bears fan who also supports Ohio State, like, he was like, we got to get out from Justin. He's like, we got to move on. But he's like, this is what I'm hearing, and like, you got a source
wrong,
and you listen to it. Your source was wrong.
Yeah. But I'm very skeptical of any connection to the Ryan Poles camp when people say that they've heard this or heard that, because they run a pretty tight ship.
I think they run one of the tightest ships, but also one of the most transparent.
Yeah,
because I feel like there's no like.
Yep.
They pretty much say what's going to happen, and then it happens. You know,
right?
Like, hey.
Exactly. He did. Energetically, I mean, at the pro day was classic. I mean, he's going up to mom and dad. People were still, nope, they're going to trade for the Hall.
I don't know. Jaden Daniels looks pretty good. And, you know, like, I understand that there's people whose jobs it is to go onto television and say things, and people are like, well, and like, here's what happens, you know, like, you'll be in a room and, you know, a producer will be
take this behind the scenes.
No, they'll be like, hey, anybody want to take the side of like the Bears should take Jaden Daniels? And if I was in that room, I'd be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Exactly.
We said it on air here.
But somebody will buy it and be like, well, I can make that conversation. I could do it. I just know, like, but most of the people that I work with have too much integrity to do that. And you know, they just won't. They're like, no. I remember like being in a place with like Brian Baldinger. He's always like, no, like, he'll never do that. Like, Brian Baldinger will just give you the straight dope. Like, nope, I'm not saying that. Like, when he says stuff, it's because he believes it.
Exactly.
And he's never going to be like that. That's probably why he's one of my favorite guys. And he's just so good at what he does. He's like, no, this is it. And I remember last year, and the reason I bring this up is because I remember, and this is before I even printed my mock draft with a twist. And he's like, hey, you know who I was watching today? He's like, Darnell Wright. He's like, I think that's my favorite player in this draft. And, you know, eventually he gets picked by the Bears. And I remember going back to him and like, hey, remember having this conversation? Oh, love him. Oh, he's so good. And so, like, that's the kind of thing. But, you know, some people, you know, will just take the bait from the producer and be like, you know what? Like, I'll say this. I'll take this side.
We call it hasselbacking. That's what we call it here at TTNL, because that kind of sellout mentality, and then to like own it, double down, and put a bet on it. It's like you won't refrain. It's a contrarian, a Mike Northian approach to things. And I just listen.
I think Mike North feels that way.
Yeah, I doubt it. He's made a lot of money, as Shane said, on betting the opposite of the crowd to go against the crowd, the norm. McDonald's.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes,
he reminds me of all my relatives out in Sandwich.
Can you do the accent, the Chicago accent?
He's sitting there at the bar. He's like, I don't know about this Caleb Williams. You know, I got a guy who told me that I saw him at Portillo's and he wasn't the nicest. And you're like, just stop. Stop. Just order your Italian beef and be done with it. I'm not trying to say anything bad about him, but I'm just saying, you're like, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I saw this great comic bit, and the redheaded dude, oh man, what's his name? Very famous comedian. He's like
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, thank you. He's like, other dudes, you know, they say the swear before they call out the race.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's before Bill Burr was going bald. I mean, he was losing his hair.
Dude,
that is one of the earliest Bill Burr bits. He's like, yeah, you know, they got it right because they put the swear after the guys. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, this bleeping mother bleeper. He's like, but the white guy, where I would say this mother bleeping and whoa, like it is one of the best. That is one of the best bits of all time.
So true. That's the greatness of it. It is so true. I just can't get behind it.
I love Bill Burr. That is one of his best things that he's ever done.
Now, I don't know. Do you write your stand-up, or do you kind of like semi like make an outline and then just go?
No. All of that's predetermined and it's pre-planned.
Yeah.
And you're going into it knowing what you're going to say. But the idea is to make it seem like you're going off the cuff. Now, there are times, especially with Bill Burr, where he was in Philadelphia, where he's just off the rails and he's just a genius. So he can kind of turn it on people and just kind of, you know, capture the audience that way. But he knows what he's saying when he's going up there. Like you know what you're saying, even though you want to pretend like, I want to make it seem like I'm coming off the cuff and I've got this great, you know, Caitlin Clark thing or whatever I'm going to say, or whatever that might be. I always have it because it is like a train of thought where it always feels like I'm going off the rails on something, but I'm like, I've planned this. Yeah. I know what I'm doing.
If heckler,
I've written the jokes, like it's okay.
A heckler comes, do you go off?
Sometimes. I mean, like, it's not as much of a problem as you would think. And I know a lot of times when you see comedy, especially now on TikTok and Instagram Reels and everything, somebody had asked me this not too long ago. They're like, oh, it seems like crowd work's really coming into play. I'm like, well, the one thing with crowd work is that it's not a bit that somebody can steal. Like somebody just can't like watch you do a crowd work thing because it's so in the moment and so organic that you can't replicate it. Like the Bill Burr bit, like somebody could go out there and try to do that act bit for bit, you know? And it probably wouldn't work because you're probably not going to deliver it as well or anything like that. You haven't honed it, but people can steal those jokes. And I know there's famously been like Joe Rogan, his kind of exposed people who have stolen other things. But if you're posting crowd work, like it's very difficult for somebody to be like, I'm going to steal this unless you plant somebody in the crowd who's be like, hey, yell out this.
Oh God.
And then you're gonna be like, hey, like this person's saying over here. I mean, there are times where you kind of anticipate, like, because you know that somebody will have said something before where, you know, you've been in a situation where you're like, well, when I tell this joke, somebody might react this way. I've found, you know, a couple of times, and I think that goes into it too. So you can kind of have that, I'm ready to go if somebody says that kind of thing. But
you have it in your pocket.
It's planned. I mean, like you go up there, you have an act, you're ready to go. And which is why we don't need people yelling out. Like, I've got it handled. Like, we're good. Like, for anybody else, I think I'm helping it up. You're never helping the comic. No matter what you think you are, no matter how well it goes, no matter what gem the comedian turns that into, you're not helping. You did not help. And that person, he could kill, like, he or she could end up killing for 20 minutes on crowd work based on something idiotic that you said, but that comic is still going to go to the back. And I've seen this happen because a friend of mine, she was out there and I'm like, oh my God, you destroyed that lady. She's like, I had 14 new jokes I wanted to tell. I didn't get to tell any of them because I spent my 10 minutes going after this Karen who was mouthing off for no reason. I go, yeah, I know it's frustrating, but you know, at the same time,
still killed it.
You're still killed. Like that. Yeah, there is a thing. Like, it is like playing a game where it's like, well, we beat a team, you know, we beat a team 24-0, but you scored 3 defensive touchdowns and you ran you ran like, you know, 36 23 dives or whatever, you know. You didn't get a chance to open up your offense. We don't know if this is going to work, but we won the game. So you take it for a win. Like, that was a win, but we didn't really learn anything. And that's what happens sometimes.
Just real quick, back to football, Adam. If the Bears were drafted number 2 and decided to move off of Justin, what direction were you going?
You know what? I don't even want to. I've heard rumors who the Bears number 2 quarterback was.
Yeah, I heard.
And I did not care for that one bit.
You heard? I have not heard this rumor.
JJ.
What
that
the
was
heck?
our guy. That was our guy. He was my number 2 quarterback.
The 3rd string quarterback in Minnesota.
Yep.
Minnesota.
Oh, I don't know. I would have kept Justin at that point. I would have gone with the Marvin.
They
Harrison.
were not keeping Justin.
I know.
No matter what.
They decided to move on.
There's a lot of
I'm
stories.
getting okay. It's fine. It's fine. He's gone. He's gone. It's gone. Let's not. There's no need to roast him anymore. He's gone.
I'm not going to roast him.
Listen, this is the thing.
I'm not roasting.
Listen, your friend was going. Your friend was going out with. Your friend was going out with somebody that you didn't like. They broke up. Don't sit there and bag on that person. That person is gone.
I'm not.
It's over.
It's
over.
I'm gonna say this though. I have a question for you. Now
I would have gone with Tyson Bagent.
You gotta love Tyson Bagent and his dad.
Yeah.
But I had a question for you and I fucking forgot it now.
Of course you did.
Can't believe it.
Because I kept
You had me
rambling
laugh.
on.
You made me laugh.
Kept rambling on about nothing.
I'm
Did
not
you guys
high.
see?
I'm not high
Did you guys
at all.
see?
Let's go back to the flat Earth people. No. It's somebody's.
Did you guys
religion.
see Kurt
Somebody's
Benkert,
religion.
the former Packer quarterback?
Kurt
Did you see his
Benkert
tweet
had a
today?
cup of coffee.
What do he do?
Yeah.
What do he do now?
This
He
is
tweeted out today: if Sam Darnold starts
Let's bet
every
on this,
game
by the
for the
way.
Vikings, he will throw for more yards than Caleb Williams does
Why?
this season.
Why? This
Save
is the
this-
thing. Like,
Save this tweet, he said.
I love that they're so concerned about it. Like, it's such an unnecessary thing
Yeah,
to say.
exactly. Thank you.
Like,
Well,
hey,
For
you know what? Like, you can
interaction,
say this. Hey, if Sam Darnold starts every game this season, I think he'll have a great year. Okay, like that's a pretty bold statement.
Why does it go
But
to Caleb?
but he's got to go after Caleb Williams because
Right,
he's scared.
It's the Peter
And
Bukowski effect. It's
I
being a
really-
smarmy bitch, and I'm going to
Swarmy
tweet this out
bitches.
to incite people. And
And the fact that everybody is so convinced that Jordan Love is great. Like, we're just he's
Mike
great now?
Tannenbaum.
He's top 5. Like, all of a sudden, like, okay, like he had a couple of nice games, and going into
Dan
that-
Orlovsky said there's not a quarterback in the NFL that he would take other than Mahomes.
other than Mahomes,
Jeepers creepers.
because he throws off his back foot and got away with it a couple times.
Dan
And
Orlovsky.
I sat
flip
there.
flopping like Daytona Beach. Daytona Dan is what we're gonna call him.
Oh my God.
Come on, Adam.
I will say this is there were times where you're like, what the F is Jordan Love doing? Throwing a thing. And I remember like people like, no, that's such a great drop in the bucket. I'm like, I'm like, okay. I go, he can't get away with this forever. And sure enough, the Bears didn't make him pay because, and I hate it, the quarterback wasn't, our quarterback wasn't making Jordan Love pay for his mistakes in week 18.
Let's throw curls.
But the 49ers did. The
Yeah.
competent NFL team, like eventually, like that's the thing. Like, okay, like you beat you beat the Cowboys. Congratulations. Good for you. You went up against the 49ers and you're like, I think I'll just jump off my back foot and blindly throw it across the middle and see what happens. And we'll see if Christian Watson can go make this play. And that's a thing too, when there's like, oh, like my favorite thing was like, he's like, I think we're better off not having a number one. And I said, you know what? For years, I watched the Green Bay Packers lose in the playoffs. And I said, you know what's holding this team back? Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Devontae Adams, this team would be in the Super Bowl. If you just had a bunch of mid receivers instead of Devontae Adams, you would be killing it. Oh, get rid of Jordy Nelson. If you had a bunch of Jared Boykins out there, you wouldn't know where to cover because they're all terrible.
Couple
Go with that. Go with that, guys.
I totally agree with you. It's hilarious how the
and by the way, and there was something. Listen, like you got to wait. Like Aaron Rodgers ended up being a D. Devontae Adams, I still think like it's going to be a problem. I think they truly will end up missing Aaron Jones. Like that was a vibe guy who you're like, man, like I really hate that son of a bitch. Like I
said it.
I don't hate him as a person. I'm sure he's a nice guy, and I would probably get along with him. But as a character on my favorite TV show, I don't like him. And so and he goes to Minnesota, so it's not much better. But I'm like, God, and you're bringing in Josh Jacobs.
I wanted him to come to here.
No.
We
had to move quickly for DeAndre Swift, which I think was a pretty good move.
Let me ask you that because from a fantasy,
I think he's getting undersold.
Where do you point him? Honestly,
I love it.
Undersold.
Listen,
yes.
The whole point of like DeAndre Swift gets undersold because the Philadelphia Eagles ran the brotherly shove so much that it really like took away his touchdown totals. Correct. And a lot of those, like how many times he got tackled at the one, or in any of those situations where you would be going with DeAndre Swift, could have meant the difference between 6 to 8 touchdowns. Had he scored those, he would have been a top fantasy running back. His whole outlook would be much different. And so to me, to get a player like that with that kind of talent and not too far removed from being in the NFC North. And, we saw how David Montgomery reacted to that. And I think we might have ended up getting the better end of that when you look at all things equally.
Is there any chance they give those goal line touches to Roshan?
No, I don't know. I like the idea. I think that Roshan was a pretty good theory, but he had his opportunity last year.
I see nothing special there. That's after year one.
I think
how
that's
Phil feels, but
year one, I was a disappointment.
I feel like the fantasy enthusiasts are trying to make things happen, and that's a big fantasy thing of like, I think that this is you're like, and not to give up on a guy after one season, like that's not fair. But it's like you're there. It's not like that. Like with Bijan Robinson, you could be like, that's a good player. Like that was a good player. Arthur Smith sort of mismanaged that. It's going to be a lot different this season. And I think there's players like that, but there's also the reverse of like when a player shows you who he is, like that's who he is, unless something remarkable happens. I hope, as a Bears fan, I want Roshan Johnson to be good. I really do. And I'll be happy to wear it if he goes out and proves me wrong, but I need to see it. Yeah. And I think that's a fair assessment, especially in a room where they have DeAndre Swift. Like, if they really truly believed in him, they probably wouldn't have signed him. but they waited like 4 seconds into the free
First
agency
one.
period.
Right.
We got a guy. Like, oh, who is it? Like, oh, the Bears signed DeAndre Swift. You're like, okay, that the teams tell you what you need to know, and I think that's a big thing. Like it is. I don't know. It is interesting to me because we see it a lot of times, especially in fantasy or not, where you see these teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where Rashad White, did well fantasy wise, but you didn't look at him. You're like, this guy's a game breaker. He averaged
Right.
3.6 yards per carry, and they went out and drafted Bucky Irving, who is basically like a similar type of person. But people will die on the hill for Rashad White. Like, no. But at some point, when the teams are telling you, you got to go out there and believe them.
Let me ask you about Khalil Herbert. Where is his place here? He seems to be like a slick, sneaky kind of runner, breakaway back, make some big chunk gains, but injuries have been an issue. I don't know how much the Bears believe in him.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts?
Similar, we like him and we want him to do well. But at the same time, it's one of those things like, again, the Bears felt it to be necessary to go out there and get DeAndre Swift when you have Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson. Again, in the past, somebody like Ryan Pace might have been like, no, we're good. We got these two guys. We'll draft a guy maybe.
Right.
But at the same time, the Bears like, we're not screwing around with this. Like we're too close to being good. We're going to go all in and we're going to go with DeAndre Swift. And we might overpay for this, but we're getting it done. So I think the Bears have let us know what they feel about, and it's not that they're giving up on them, but the fact that those guys need to be tested and those two players need to improve. And I think it's fair to say that. Like, I'm not trying to be a hater, but the Bears signed DeAndre Swift for a reason.
Yeah.
And so it's up to those guys to go out there and prove that was a mistake.
Who leads the Bears in receiving touchdowns this year?
Oh,
that's a good one.
It is.
I'm curious to see how that plays out. I think
could it be a rookie wide receiver? I would not be shocked by Adunze leading them in receiving touchdowns. May not have the massive yardage total, but
red zone
touchdowns, I wouldn't be shocked.
I think both him and Keenan Allen are into a situation where they might not have the receiving totals. I know they joked about like who's going to be the first to 1,000.
Right.
I think that still ends up being DJ Moore. I really do envision a scenario where it's 3rd and 8 and Keenan Allen is catching a 9-yard pass, moving the sticks. And I do see a realistic expectation of when they get near the goal line, they throw Rome Odunze out there, and that's a guy who, because of coverage, ends up getting wide open and ends up getting a lot more touchdowns.
Imagine throwing the fade to Rome Odunze and not to, Bobby Wade like we used to. Back
That'd be weird, yeah. Equanimous St. Brown.
Kevin White, a couple forced throws. Have you ever seen a receiving core in Chicago like this?
No, not 3 deep like this. I think that everybody wants to go and point out like, well, they had, Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey.
Curtis Conway, Jeff Graham,
Cam Meredith. Like, I don't know. I think that the 3 of them are pretty good. And of course, I'm going to throw in a little nod to Cole Kmet. Gerald Everett is a pretty good receiving.
I love Gerald Everett.
I still believe that Tyler Scott can develop.
Your boy,
my boy Tyler Scott.
Tell him he said hello.
Listen,
actually a great scenario for him.
I thought so. I talked to him at the draft night, and I said, "Listen, I know
the Tommy Waddle.
It is it's weird, but like he's been through this before, and I didn't, you go to college, and hey, you're going to come in here, you're going to be a number 1 wide receiver, and then the coach is out recruiting a wide receiver again. So it's like it's very similar.
Correct.
And so, but given an opportunity to learn behind Keenan Allen, a guy who, as much as I like Keenan, do we expect him to play 17 games this season? Like we've seen him get dinged up before in his career. So I think there could still be some opportunity for Tyler Scott. So I'm not willing to let that, just necessarily go. So I think as far as a overall top to bottom wide receiver room, this is the best that we've seen.
Corn Planter, a super chat with Corn Planter.
Yes.
Rank, are you planning to go any Bears games this season?
We're trying to
join
work
us for
out
the Patriots game or what?
We're trying to work out some things, and if it works out, I would love to get an opportunity. I think week 1, I would love to be out there for the Titans game. We'll see how that could go. But in any other event, it all depends on sponsorships for our show and what we're going to end up doing. But I would look for. I mean, I will be at least at 2 of them. I will be at the Arizona game, and I will be at the game against the 49ers. Both those being on the West Coast. So a Chicago game is still up in the air, but I'll be at 2 games this season.
Can we get you to join us for the Patriots Bears game?
When is that? Which week is that? That's
November
week 9.
10th.
November 10th.
Yeah. Anniversary weekend. I don't think so. That's the whole thing. That's anniversary weekend. The Hall of Fame game is on the same day as my boy's birthday.
Yes.
I don't know.
How about your boy Velus Jones? Is he gonna?
I would love for him. I know they went out there and they signed Carter and other guys who are
DeAndre Carter. Yep.
DeAndre Carter, and guys who are adept at returning kicks. So that could be a problem. But I still think that Velus has got an opportunity, and this is one that they're gonna hopefully give a chance to, and hope to see it.
Rank Bullets will be at Arizona. What's that?
Still one of Adam's best jokes on draft night when we took Velus about him being old enough to rent a car. Because he was a 25-year-old rookie. I remember that from draft night.
Adam has had some classic moments here.
For sure.
On the network. As in his intro, it stated that he was our first ever guest to appear on this network. That's TTNL Trivia. I know you've given us a lot of your time, Adam. I see you getting fidgety.
Ha! Now the kids are running around. I gotta go.
Hugging
I gotta go wrangle them. It's still light out here. This is natural lighting in my house. I don't live in Alaska.
6:53.
It's almost 7 on the East Coast, on the West Coast here.
Now, how far from the beach are you? Do you surf at all? Do you get in the water? No.
I'm not a big surfer. I grew up in the Inland Empire, so we were skateboarders.
Okay. Big Tony Hawk guy?
Oh, big Tony Hawk. Powell Peralta, all those guys. I rode a Schmidt stick, though. So
Schmitz.
Yeah, I rode a Steve Lucero board. So that was
Did you play that game Skate or Die?
No, it was Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Skate or Die at the arcade was outstanding back in the 80s. I was
always a big paper boy.
Are you gonna delve into the new college football game?
I mean, a little. I want to. I want to be able to go out there and build UNLV up as I like to do. But I don't know how it works with the NIL. I can't imagine coaching on the collegiate level anymore with NIL and just sitting there. I went to Cal State Fullerton, who was once a dominant program in college baseball.
RoboCop Thornton.
Yeah.
James RoboCop Thornton was.
Yeah. Damon Allen was there. Alan Pitts, if you're Mike Pringle, if you're a CFL aficionado. But unfortunately, it's should we just be Division III now? We're not going to be able to match the money that some of these schools are throwing around. We used to go out there and would play these SEC schools and could match them because all the California kids are just better. All of us out here were just better. But now it's they all go out there because, back in the day, you couldn't give full rides to baseball players. But now you can give them anything. So anybody who lives out here, and if you know anything about college, college football in the South is amazing. So if these kids want a full-on college experience of going to big games and on Saturdays in the fall, you're going to go to an SEC school or a Big Ten school or something like that. And, just being in Orange County is not enough anymore. So
There's no Pac-12 anymore.
and there's no Pac-12 anymore.
It's
Yeah,
done. It's dead.
Crazy.
It's
no,
crazy.
Oregon State's still around. Like we got a Pac-12. Two teams in the
Tupac.
Pac-12. The Tupac.
Tupac isn't even in my top 20, just like the Pac-12.
Wait a minute. I'm out.
Yes, that's the true
ridiculous.
story. Next week, I reveal my top 20 rappers all time.
And Tupac's not in the top 20.
Tupac, spoiler alert, he has not made that list. And,
Nope.
He is.
So
not
what would
there.
that? So does Biggie Smalls make the
Oh,
top
of
100
course.
then?
He's in the top 20.
Stop it.
100%.
Let me say this. Let me
Biggie would
listen,
beat
listen.
the shit,
No,
tear
you
him up.
Let me tell you something. Here,
Yes.
like so years ago, there
Yes.
was a rap battle that went on, or a war, so to speak. And you know, the East Coast killed Tupac, and then the West Coast
from the East Coast, though.
the West Coast responded by killing Biggie Smalls. That would be like if England killed Bob Dylan, and we're like, you know what? We'll show you. We're gonna kill one of the dudes from Chumbawamba. Like it wasn't. What? That wasn't equitable at all. Tupac? What?
Come on, bro. I reveal it next week. It's coming.
I don't know who's in my top 5, but Tupac's in it. If he's not in my top 2.
We disagree there.
I would disagree greatly.
We will greatly disagree.
Gravely
on this.
disagree.
Tupac, not there. But Biggie is and will forever be.
Oh my God.
Tune in next week for it.
I'm gonna
I will send you
I'm gonna take one of the kids from High School Musical over Paul McCartney. Like,
no.
Yes.
First of
Zac
all,
Efron is a singer over
if any
Prince.
Biggie song comes on, the whole, I don't care where you are, the floor gets filled up every time. I can put it to a test.
You know, you could go to Oktoberfest and play the chicken dance, and the floor gets filled
Well,
up.
in the Oktoberfest,
The Oktoberfest, whatever.
they've partaken in a few pints.
Oh, here come the fans. Just doing the chicken dance. So that must be better than Stairway to Heaven.
Hey, we're gonna agree to disagree on this.
Okay.
All right. You give me your top 20 next before the show.
I'm not gonna. I'll
put it up. Sit down. You got time.
I don't. Listen.
Got time in the car on the drive in the traffic.
And we'll post it live on air.
Post your live. Give me your
Oh my
top
God.
10 next week. Think
Top
about it.
10.
Not now. No, you got the kids. You got to do things.
Yeah, it's true.
But we will always. I still love you.
No. Much love. We can disagree on that and still have love.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Exactly. Jay-Z in your top 10 as the thunder strikes here?
No.
Jay-Z's not in your top 10. Okay.
Maybe. I'd have to think about this.
Think about it. You're going to have to sit and think about.
Yeah. I'll have to give it some thought.
LL Cool J.
LL Cool. I'm a big LL.
There you go.
No rapper can rap quite like I can. I'll take a muscle bound man and put his face in the sand.
Correct.
Genius.
Correct. I can't wait. When you're in the LA traffic, just sit down instead of talking to me or Brian Baldinger. Scribble out your top 20 rap all time.
All right.
Have some fun with it. I'll add ranks. I got my guy, Paulie Yevich. It's one of the guys that produced beats for me back in the day.
Right.
Gonna send me beats. He's gonna give me a top 50 rappers that I'm gonna share
Okay.
next week.
Do all three BC Boys have to come in individually?
You can put them individually, yes, if you want to put them.
Okay.
If they are in your rank, your last name is a rank. So
yes,
rank
it's
your
true.
top 10.
Oh my god.
You want to go 20, do it. It'll
Nah,
be
I'm not
fun. With a twist. With a twist.
That's not my
There's
not
your
really my
twist.
area. It's not really my area of expertise.
Listen, as long as you don't put Soldier Boy at number 1, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
for
probably
your
not
boy.
going to do that.
Probably not going to do that. For
I feel
Devin
good about
Hester.
that. I feel
Devin
I
Hester going
can
into
say
the
with
hall.
I can say with confidence.
Will they play that song when Hester walks up to the hall?
Maybe.
I think that would be a stroke of genius if they did. Dun,
Would be.
dun, 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 and he walks up. Oh my God.
That would be
But
amazing.
I don't know if the NFL will do that.
No, never. Well, it's the Hall of Fame. They're different. They're separate.
They're different. There's this. Yeah.
Listen, the commissioner was out there with Eminem, so who knows?
Did the commissioner drop some bars? He
did
was
not.
about to, right?
I think he wanted to.
There you go. Well, I love you, Adam.
Love you, gentlemen.
Give
Thanks.
Clay my best and Jenny.
Will
and
do.
The fam and the soccer team that you
Yes.
coached to a championship.
Nice.
Look at you, right there
2 in a
above
row.
your shoulder. You and I are undefeated, two in a row.
That's true.
We got to do it.
Cap started his coaching journey
More
again tonight.
Cap's
importantly,
coaching journey.
I think too, like the most important thing, especially at the levels that I coach at, my boys' team didn't win a game. By the way, Clay's team did not win a game.
But you weren't
which is
coaching,
fine.
Clay.
I
right?
was I was coaching.
Oh, you were.
He started the season like not even like he wasn't even on the practice field. He was over at the playground. He spent his first game underneath my sweatshirt. But by the end of the season, he was out there scoring all of our goals. And like
Really?
not accidental, like I'm just standing here and the ball ricochets off me, but like stealing
He
the
was-
ball, dribbling up and scoring. Doesn't like the pass, but likes scoring the ball. But really, when you're at the 10U and the 6U level,
Yeah.
like all you want is like, I don't want these kids to quit because I'm a jerk
Right.
to them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
I don't think this is the time or place for that. Like
Right.
we're starting to work on, especially at the 10U level, like we're starting to establish positions and things like that. And as we get up to 12U, then it'll be a little bit more demanding. But it at those levels, you're like, let's learn the game, and then we'll see where we'll go for there.
Well, I love you, brother. It was a pleasure having you on.
Love
Are
you
doing
guys.
any shows or anything you got to promote?
The Lotus Room in Long Beach on July 15th.
There you go.
We'll be down there. Yeah, be fun.
The Lotus Room,
Yeah,
July
it's in Long
15th.
Beach. It's on PCH, the corner of PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, and 2nd, right by the Gelsons right there. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Bullets
Love it.
and our West Coast, Los and the West Coast family. Get out there.
Get out there.
Support our guy, Adam Rank. You know him from the NFL Network. Support him on Instagram and X or whatever we're calling it today at Adam Rank NFL. Adam, I love you, man. As a brother, all jokes aside, even with your terrible rap takes, I still love you and give everyone, especially Sammy, my best
Will
over
do.
at the sick. And let me know when you need me to get in the
All
ring.
right. I'll let you know.
Put me in the ring with Cynthia
get it.
Froyland. There we go.
All right.
There.
All right. Enough of that.
There you go.
Anyways, thanks so much for having me, and
All the
I'll
best.
see you. Much love to you and your family. Same to you, Shane.
Thank you,
And,
sir.
We'll see you guys soon.
All right, brother. All the best.
Thanks, man.
The great Adam Rank of NFL Network. Oh my God. Adam's so much fun. He did. Norm McDonald was in my head when he started to get fired up a little bit there. I heard Norm McDonald in my head. He
Yeah, I
has
did
the-
too.
he has that same tone and accent.
If
But
you've heard his son, Norm McDonald's son, it's crazy. It's
you gotta. Can you pull up a clip of that, or maybe Ivan could grab it, and play a little
probably
clip?
look for it. Yeah.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
Who's this guy?
Who is that guy? I saw that guy today. He's got a new mini bike, Shane. You can
New
see
suspenders, looks like.
Suspenders have been purchased. He went to Gap and got himself some shorts. He went to the Croc outlet, got himself some Crocs. He's ready to go. Our guy, the hype man, Shane, is back. He's back with us.
We got a bigger strip.
That's right. Angelo Joe Marino.
Hello, everybody.
There he is.
Look, he's got his swag, Shane.
Oh,
He
yeah.
does.
Thanks to Phil.
Look at that,
Thanks to
Angelo.
Phil.
You're in the barn.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
He's in the barn. This is our guy, Angelo Joe Marino. I got to give you a shout out. Angelo drove over to the house, the Atoshan house, Shane, in his suspenders. Dropped off the sander.
That's how you showed up to the Atoshan house?
Yeah, he had a shirt on though.
Yeah, I had to expose myself a little bit there. Yep.
Pure bliss.
It was a hot one today. It was hot.
It sure was.
It was a hot one out there.
Now it's raining. It's raining, and we got lightning.
We got thunder. We got lightning. We had thunder and lightning with our guest, Adam Rank. Now, Shane has to start sending you the script so you can start promoting our guests each week, right, Angelo?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Well, you have a reliable mini bike now, so listen. This is what we need to do, Angelo. TTNL is going to.
Let me take a seat.
All right, have a seat, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do.
It's going to be all the way back. He's got to.
Can you see me?
Can we hear you? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys see me well?
We got to get him a mic, Shane.
Yeah,
He's so far away.
We'll get him a mic.
Pure bliss.
We're going to get him a GoPro that he's going to mount on his helmet.
Oh, yes. He's got to drive the mini bike to Modern Upbeats.
So we need that outfit right here. This is going to be your outfit on the mini bike. And we're going to have the live Angelo Joe Marino drive-through review. So you're going to wear that outfit on your mini bike, and you're going to go to local drive-throughs.
Yes.
Order your food. And
right
then you're
down to Dunkin'.
Yeah, you're gonna rank them. You're gonna rank all the foods.
All right.
All right.
We can do it. We can do that as well. Yep.
He was out in the rain. You could see like rain was on his shirt, right? You got caught.
Yeah, I got some rain on it. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to Keith Sweat?
Take that fucker off. Take it off.
Take it off?
No.
Why not?
He's got the suspenders.
Yeah, I got him. I got him.
That's my man, baby. That's my guy.
You're 1989.
This guy's worn suspenders since 1989, he says.
Yeah.
Look at you. You don't like belts.
I like belts, but you know what, man? I want to bring back the suspenders.
You're bringing back the suspenders, man.
Yeah.
He's got tan lines on his suspenders, Shane.
Yeah, you got suspender tan
That means
lines.
you've been working outside. I've been working outside in the garden.
Did Phil put you to work today?
No, but
Phil, I did an understanding. I showed him. I let Phil borrow a sander, a pouring cable sander for the front deck of the porch.
Nice.
Yes, he honestly, and we
Well,
rented
Phil
one of
texted
those
me and
giant
told me-
ones.
Phil texted me this morning and told me how tough it was to get the paint off the deck. And then when I called him a few hours later, he goes, Angelo's here. And I'm like, Angelo's sanding, I bet.
Yeah, you can get a nice workout with a machine. A nice workout. Something's a nice workout with a machine.
Yeah, you get a nice tan, a nice workout out there. It was Steph rented one of those giant sanders I showed you, Shane.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't pick up all the paint off the thing. And it's so frustrating because we're not getting all of the sand. I mean, all of the paint off of it. Then
Now, I
Angelo
wanna
comes
say
over with
something.
his sander, and he's just like, and it's just throwing the paint off, and I'm like, Jesus. And
I
then
want to say something. Stephanie says something about wearing standard shoes, and I told her we're not in Japan. Remember, Phil? You remember?
yes, I do.
Okay. Let me
I
put the
told
shirt back in
Steph,
here.
I go, Steph, just put some sanders on your shoes and get a workout in like that.
Yeah.
But Angelo has offered to come help. That honestly, he's like, I want to come help you. That's what friends do, Shane.
That's right.
Friends do that. They have
And
barbecues.
Shane, I'm excited. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, Riley and I will be there. I promise you.
All right.
We
We're gonna
can't
document it all. We're gonna have probably a couple of good meals, all on Phil's dime, Angelo. It's gonna be perfect. It's
gonna be
All
awesome,
right.
Angelo.
And I'll show you my studio in the barn.
Yeah,
I
can't.
we'll do some recording
1,500.
videos in the barn.
1,500 square feet. Look at them.
Yeah, yeah.
The cruel hot summer, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Shane, can you speak for him as he's talking? Because we can't hear the audio.
Hey, coach. I pull my pants up like this before I take the football field. Over at Line High. Scott McQueenie said, Angelo, quit football. Get yourself a mini bike.
Look at this guy. He's pulling the old starter.
Angelo, have you ever had the suspender snap off and hit you in the face?
No, I broke
There
a
he
pair.
goes.
I had a
There he
nice
goes.
pair of blue ones, and I was mowing the lawn, and the back part broke. I hit a pole in the back, so they broke. So I had to buy new ones.
Oh, Jesus. You hit a
What
pole.
can you get? How fast can you get that going?
What? Oh, that thing. Oh, that goes 30 miles per hour.
Oh, wow.
But if I pull the pin from the governor, it can go faster. But I don't want it to go faster. That's good enough for me.
That's
good
scary,
enough
right?
for you. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. A cruel hot summer. You could make your own horror movie, says
I
Jerry.
know. You know what? I gotta tell you something. It's scary in here all by yourself. I'm telling you, I don't have a firearm.
You know what'll make you feel better? Go get that cardboard
Where's
cutout.
how come the cars isn't around? Why is that never out? You
He's
hide
here.
him. Oh, there he is. Did you rip him up? Did you get pissed at him once?
There he
There
is.
he is.
Angelo.
Yes,
Real
I
quick,
see him.
Stand next to that. Take your shirt off again. Stand next to it, and I got to get a picture. And I'm going to send it to Cars live on air.
Oh my God, our guy Angelo Joe Ramino.
You're gonna get
Marino.
You're gonna get on Cars' other side.
He's gonna
See
be
where
on
he's pointing.
the
Yeah,
Ivan
perfect
show with Cars.
I play him.
Bring him on your show. There they are. Take a good picture
Angelo,
of this.
Angelo, you point to Cars. Point back to Cars like he's pointing at you. And
But
now look.
smile.
At the camera.
Smile at the camera.
Perfect.
There it is.
Perfect.
Oh my God.
You got it.
Gold.
Can I put him away now?
Gold.
Yeah, just put him up so everybody can see him in the back.
All right.
Anyway, our guy Angelo.
Can you put him next to Angelina? Angela.
They're together. They're together.
Okay. Okay.
We're together. She keeps me company, a little company in the barn, you know?
Gotcha. We don't want it any other way.
We gotta get you. We got to get you a Penelope Cruz cutout.
Oh,
Yes.
that'd be nice.
That would
She's
be
very
a great
cool.
gift for him. On
Yeah.
When's your birthday, Angelo?
May 7th. I just turned 40.
Oh, just turned 40, guys. Single,
Nice.
ready
Yeah.
to mingle.
Yeah.
Listen, came over the house today. Had a great
And nice house,
conversation.
Phil, by the way. I like your house. Very nice.
Thank
Better than
you.
the old one, right, Angelo?
Much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much better. Nice town too. Beautiful town.
Angelo is so authentic. He's got no filter. He is the definition of keeping it 100. So when Angelo wants to be on this show, he wants to be a part of this, and he has made it very known to me. He looks forward to coming on the show and wants to do more things. So when people like think whatever the fuck they think and make comments like, Angelo, talk about this show and what it means to you, man, because you enjoy it. Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, this show is about the Chicago Bears of the great state of Illinois, and hearing draft Dr. Phil and Shane, the smartest man, talk about Chicago Bears.
Yes,
it's so entertaining. And being part of being the hype man for this show makes so much fun and making friends. It's unbelievable. I love it.
Listen. So many people around the world were asking, like Robert Nash. He wants you to come to the New England game. Jim Larison has bought you a ticket, and he's paying for your airfare to go to this game. He wants to see you there.
You know what? It's going to happen. And I want to say thank you to Jim Garrison for paying me that ticket.
Larison. There you go.
Larison.
So
I got to save my money. I'm going to buy a mic. That way we can hear each other a little bit better.
We'll buy you.
We're going to get it for you.
We'll buy you a mic and headphones. Yeah.
We're going to get it for you, bro. Because
we're gonna get you a GoPro that you can mount on your helmet. We need the drive-through review with Angelo Joseph Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
And you need to be very, very nice and cordial to the ladies at the drive-through.
Yes,
and review the food. Maybe you stop right there and you take a bite of your burger right at the window, hold the line up, and you tell them exactly what you think about it right there.
It's a very good burger.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let me ask you, if you're going through Dunkin' Donuts, what is a typical Angelo order? What do you get in here?
I'll take 36.
No, I get this. I get a small hot coffee, depending on how hot it is.
Right. If it's hot out in the morning, do you go ice in the summer?
That's what it is. If it's 90 degrees, I get an ice. If we're still in the 80s, it's hot coffee, because I believe that the coffee that's hot gives you a much more better caffeine rush for the morning, when it's hot.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So I get a sausage egg on everything bagel. And sometimes I switch it with a sesame bagel.
Yes.
And that's my breakfast. And then I am out to work.
So do you toast the bagel? Is it a toast?
I come to toasted dark, and they toasted dark.
Oh, you go dark.
Yeah.
You like it a little bit burnt?
They burn it really good for some reason, but I don't complain. I like it. I wish they would do a little less. But for some reason, when I say toasted dark, I guess they want it to be burnt, well done, like a pizza.
Oh.
But I'll take it. I'll eat it down.
What's the level of dark? How could they? I gotta.
But see,
there's
they gave it to you, and it was a little bit burnt.
Yes.
In the drive-through review, we need you to be 100% honest.
It's a little too burnt.
It's a little bit too burnt.
It is a little too burnt. But because I'm a nice guy, I don't complain. Nope. It's gonna go down my mouth no matter what, It's food. Well, but I'm gonna try to tell them maybe they can less burn it. It'd be nice.
Is there a way he can articulate, Shane, to the drive-through? Hey, I want it a little burnt, not too burnt. A little. How could he articulate that?
You could say medium. But medium well. Not well. Not well done. Medium well.
Guess what, guys? If that happens, if I tell them that, guess what's going to happen? They're not gonna toast it at all. That's why I don't even bother with them. I just let them do what they do it. So they see some darkness, I'm happy.
Is there butter on the bagel?
No, but I do order a bagel with butter sometimes. I do.
Okay.
So you said you order a small coffee. What size is that one right there?
This is the large.
Okay.
That's in the
How many
evening
sugars are in that?
There's 4 sugars. They put 4 sugars this time.
Oh, okay.
How many cream?
4.
4 cream.
I have a girl at my work.
Yep.
Her name is Amanda, and she gets 12 by 12. And I'm not kidding you. 12.
She might as well order fucking chocolate milk.
Or just drink the syrup straight, right?
Holy
oh my
shit.
God.
12 sugars.
Yes.
Angelo, that's what we need to do. He's going to order Amanda's drink and review Amanda's drink, what it tastes like.
No, there's one there called the Dun King.
The Dun
Coffee.
King?
And it's like crazy. That's what you need to order tomorrow. I will PayPal you tonight and pay for it. We need the Angelo drive-through review on the Dun King. One for you and one for your dad. Does your dad drink them too?
My dad refuses to drink iced coffee. He's old-fashioned. He believes that coffee should be hot no matter what the temperature is. So he's outstanding, you know?
Yeah. Does he only drink espresso?
On Sundays we have espresso, but he's not a typical guy that drinks espresso every day. He drinks American coffee every day.
American.
Yeah.
Does he say that? Is he a Folgers guy? I feel like he's a chock full of nuts.
Coffee mix. Yep.
Instant coffee.
So is
he loves instant coffee. That's the one you boil the water and you pour the hot water and the instant coffee turns coffee, you know?
Yes. Yes. Unbelievable.
Do you have a Keurig at your house?
No, my brother has one.
Yeah.
But not at your house where you live.
No.
You just have like the 12-cup coffee maker?
No, we're very economical, my family.
No Keurigs.
He's got Netflix now. He stepped into Netflix.
Yeah, got Netflix now.
He's excited. The new Beverly Hills Cop Part 4.
And I know the exact day it's coming. July 1st, it's coming out.
There it is. We're
very July 1st or July 3rd, but I think it's the 1st.
I thought you said the exact date you knew. Come on.
Okay. I had a busy day today. I think it's July 1st, but I could be wrong. It could be July 3rd. It could be July 3rd. But no matter
one
what,
of these days, one of those days, it is July 1st or 3rd.
With your new mini bike, is it a little more reliable driving where you can go a little farther with it?
So excited about this.
I can go a little further with it, farther. It's bigger and it's more comfortable and it's more dangerous. It's more dangerous. It's
How's
scary.
your mother? How's mom feel about the danger?
My mom's worried about her boy. She's worried about her boy, but I'm very sharp. I have my helmet on and I'm safe. I think safety all the time.
When you're on the mini bike, you have the suspenders over your nipples because that's just added protection if you fall off.
He'll do some protection, but I'm pretty sure whether I penetrate, it's gonna go through. It's not Kevlar. Not Kevlar at all.
A little bit of a drop.
We got a bigger strip.
Penetrate the strip.
Penetrate.
That's a t-shirt, Angela.
Little penetrate.
Yeah.
I love this guy. He's such a great human being. It's so compassionate and thoughtful.
So are you, Phil. You and your father have a very great reputation in the town of Wallingford for being football geniuses on the field playing football.
Phil, can you hear me? This is your dad speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Dad. Thank you, Angelo. I appreciate that. Trying to build the reputation up here in Southington in a house divided, Shane. A house divided. Youth sports, we talked about it. If you still want to give, thetapeneverlies.com to our football program, the Wolverines, we totally appreciate that as we champion youth sports here. Go to give.thetapeneverlies.com. $10, $1 will help our program. We appreciate you.
So Angelo, we're on a health kick here at TTNL. We wanted to ask you about this. What do you think about going on a TTNL journey? And we're gonna try and help Angelo quit smoking. What do you think about that?
You know what? That's something that I want to put on my to-do list. I want to get healthy. I do want to quit, but it's tough.
We want you to start on July 1st. What do you think?
All right.
Axel Foley. Tate gave Angelo a hug when he saw him today. He hasn't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Tate goes, the last time I saw you was at Sliders. And he remembered, and he goes, when Angelo left, he was upset with Angelo only because he said, why does Angelo smoke? Why does he smoke? So that was the only thing. It's not good for him, Dad.
I remember when I was younger.
Yes.
We used to get our knowledge about cigarettes.
Yes.
That I was never going to smoke, but I started. Quit. I know I can quit.
You could do it.
Did your
you can
dad
always
smoke
go to the cigar?
Yes, my father smokes too. Yep.
Just like this guy over here. You can go to the cigar. I don't know if it's a cigar that he's smoking, but it's pretty damn close. Angelo's coming closer to you. There he is.
Ivan, how are you?
What's up, Angelo? How are you?
Good.
Ivan
used
Italians
to together.
Ivan used to smoke 4 packs a day, Angelo.
I'll tell you this.
Wow.
I'll tell you this, Angelo. Like I've never been I've partaken in other things, smoking wise, but cigarettes I never touched until I joined the Navy.
Oh,
then I was smoking like packs a day. Like, I mean, you're out to sea for a while. You're smoking. You're fucking. It's kind of stressful. So I'm like, I was smoking all day when I was in the Navy, and then suddenly I just I had it in me where I just felt nauseated by smoking, and it continued after the Navy, like for a few years, but then. Like after a certain point, I can't do it. Like it makes me feel like I'm a fucking vomit.
Maron.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
I know I will.
Look at that.
The laugh. It's perfect.
Now, Ivan, did you get laid as a sailor? Did you get laid a lot?
Yes.
That's where he met his wife in the Navy.
Good.
I did not meet my wife in the
Armors.com.
Armors.com. Did not meet my wife in the Navy. Yes. Yeah. I got laid.
You know what? Something. If I was going to join a branch in the military, I would join the Navy myself and jump off one of those destroyers and go for a nice swim.
Well, not smart. But this, Angelo, I'll tell you this. A little story here. So I was deployed twice, right? Went to the Arabian Gulf twice, 2011 to 2012. I'm pretty sure it was the first deployment, if I'm not mistaken, that I went to 2011. We were allowed to do what is called a swim call. I was on a aircraft carrier, USS John C. Stennis. So what they would do was they drop the hangar bay elevators where they send the jets up. Like they'd bring the jets to the top of the flight deck. They drop them down to the hangar bay, and we all went off, jumped. We're in the middle of the Indian Ocean somewhere, or wherever the hell we were.
Holy shit!
And yeah, so I did it. I did it once. We did it twice.
How high is that drop?
It's a pretty fucking far drop.
Like, holy shit. right here.
Yeah, for a second, but the scariest part was going, like, once you go down, like, I torpedoed my down. I flew down. I was like, whoa, I'm way deep. I opened my eyes and I looked up and I saw the light. And then I looked down and it was the blackest black I've ever seen in my life. And I swam right up to the top and got
Holy
my ass
shit.
back on that boat, dude. There was no way I wanted to stay in that water anymore after I looked down. So,
Hey, man, you did it. You survived. So that's good, man.
Yeah, thank you, Angela.
And thank you for serving our country, Ivan. Thank you.
Yes, Angelo. Yes.
I appreciate you, Angela.
Thank you for your service. Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to go back to my seat now.
Okay. Thank you.
Then let me do what I had to do.
Thank you, Dan Beeks, for serving our country. We're moving close to July 4th, the birthday of America the Great. Oh, beautiful. What's your favorite American song, Angelo, as far as patriotic? Is it the national anthem? Is it Oh, Beautiful? What is it? The train is coming.
Yeah, the train is coming. Yep.
By the train track.
Is that Aerosmith? A train? Yeah,
Yes.
it is Aerosmith. Anyway, A Train, but
A Train.
Yeah, I'm right near the train, so we have to wait. Let's wait. It's almost gone. All right, it's
No,
gone.
we can go. You good? Couple
All right,
horns.
so my favorite song for this country is the national anthem. The national
There you
anthem.
go. And who was your favorite artist who sang it? Was it Whitney Houston, Boys to Men? Was it Prince?
You know what? There's been so many people that have sang it well and also destroyed it. But if I remember correctly, Miss Whitney Houston did a very, very
There
good
you
job
go, Angelo. Good
when
job.
she did it. Yeah.
The Bills and Giants Super Bowl.
Yes, wide right, right?
Scott Norwood.
Chris Stapleton. I agree. He just did it. What an amazing job. I don't know. Did he do? Yeah, I think he did the national anthem, Not Oh Beautiful, and it was awesome. I said at the time, Corn, that was the closest to Whitney, was Chris Stapleton's. Stapleton killed it, said Chuck Reed. Stapleton is an amazing singer. Not in my top 20 rappers, Ivan.
I'm going to tell you, shit in your hat and get the hell off the field.
Since you mentioned it, Phil, real quick.
Yes.
I saw a list from Forbes magazine of all our places. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I hope it's fake. I truly hope it's like.
I think it's real.
I hope it's like I got you, motherfucker. Like that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I agree totally. It's embarrassing. That's kind of inspiring us to get it out next week. I mentioned my guy Paul Yevich. He produced beats for me back in the day. Mm-hmm. He's going to produce some beats for TTNL for us too, and bring that back. And he's going to send me his top 50. I'm doing 20. I don't know how I would do 50, but I saw that list and it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. Rolling Stone's list was bad too, in my opinion. I don't know if you saw that. That was a few years ago. They put out a list, but it'll be fun for next week's show to tackle my list, finally reveal it. I've worked it and reversed it.
Is Missy Elliott in the top 20?
Missy didn't make my top 20, but there is a female.
Not that I'm hating on Missy. It's not that me laughing is not that
she's awesome.
I love Missy Elliott. Like,
I love all.
Yeah.
She's in my top 50. One female artist made my top 20. I will obviously reveal that next week. But it wasn't Missy. Angelo.
MC
yeah.
Don't Don't spoil things.
Wow, what we got? What we got here?
Angelo, were you a big hip hop fan, Angelo?
Man, in high school,
Yeah.
I remember when Mary J. Blige
Yes.
came with this song. With I can't sing for the life of me, but oh my god,
You gotta
you
try.
will know which one it is. It's I forgot which one. It's something. Mary J. Blige. It was during the 1990s, 1997, 1998.
Was it Real Love? What song was it?
It had a good beat to it.
And all the
Give me
kids.
some fucking names. Give this.
Let me tell you something. I remember her. I remember Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. Ja Rule.
Then in the early 2000s, 50 Cent came out.
I got it up.
But now it's not the same, guys.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Not the same. You don't got the good beats. Dr. Dre knows about it. Dr. Dre knows about the beats. No,
You gotta
no,
bring it back. Gotta bring it back, Angelo. Back in the day.
Yeah. Someone has to
Snoop.
bring it back.
Snoop Dogg, Beasties, Run DMC,
Eminem.
Smartest Man.
But Lady Gaga, I'm a big fan of Lady Gaga. I like female songs, you know.
Oh yeah, those
I
females.
like Taylor Swift. I like,
Luxuries, mom.
you know, even though I'm a guy, that doesn't mean I'm a homosexual, and there's nothing wrong with being a homosexual.
It's just so slick and skinny in a hole.
Yeah.
But I love listening to female songs. And they got good beats
Who
to it too.
doesn't though? Who doesn't love listening?
No,
to
but when I was going to high
Celine
school,
Dion?
if you
Jennifer
listen to
Lopez.
Justin Timberlake, one
Yes.
time I told my buddy, I like Justin Timberlake. You know what he told me?
Man, I fucked up. But
Don't
You like Justin
say
Timberlake?
it.
Or
Don't
you
say
know,
it. Justin's
I like
dealing with a
Justin
lot
Timberlake
of.
too, man.
He's dealing with a lot of legal issues on Long Island right now.
I know he drank too much, the poor lad.
Poor Timberlake.
He's gonna cry himself a river.
Yes.
Angelo, I heard, was at a karaoke contest circa 2005, and he was singing Backstreet Boys, Ivan. And you,
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Well, let's tell you something here. One song that I like from the Backstreet Boys is this one here. They did a music video when they do this.
Here it
When
is.
they're like puppets. Bye, 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 bye. You know? You remember?
Wrong. That's
No,
insane.
that's
Oh,
in
in sync.
sync.
That's in sync.
Yes.
Bye, bye.
What was the Backstreet Boys song, Ivan? That he's.
Fuck.
What was I? Know I'm short, right?
Shane, you're muted there.
Yeah, Shane, we can't hear you. What was the Backstreet Boys song? It wasn't Bye Bye Bye. That was
What?
The Backstreet Boys. What did they sing?
I mean, they could sing. They sing a bunch of shit. Like I don't.
I know. What was their big hit though? They had a big one. That was Angelo's song. He even fucked it up.
Well, he's singing totally different.
He's singing in sync, bro. He was calling it the Timberlake vortex.
I mean, they were good too, I guess. I mean,
what was the fucking Backstreet song, Shane? The fuck?
I have no idea.
None.
Shane
I
had-
want it
Shane
that
had
way.
posters on
Thank
his
you.
wall.
Oh, yeah.
That was the
As a grown
song,
man.
Alex.
What was that
And
song?
I want it that way.
There you
Tell
go.
me why.
There you go.
I'm just a fan. I'm not a.
Oh, Backstreet's back, but it was I want it that. Tell me why. I don't. Is it tell me why or is it I want it that way? And then What was Angelo's dance, Shane? The Angelo walk up? What did he call it?
Bulldozer.
The
Bulldozer. Yeah.
Angelo
Marino
the
bulldozer. The Marino Angelo for $2 from Super Chat. Corn Planter. Were you a fan of Menudo, Angelo?
I don't know who the hell that guy is.
It was a band. It was a group.
No, I don't know.
No,
I would have to hear the song, and
they were from Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Menudo. What was the famous dude from that? What was his name? Became huge.
I don't know, guys.
Was Ricky Martin in Menudo?
Ricky Martin, thank you. Ricky Martin, Angelo. You remember him?
Yeah.
Ricky Martin.
Yes.
I Want It That Way. We need to have Angelo parody I Want It That Way. No, and we'll do it like a TTNL. I'll write the lyrics, Shane. We'll get a music video. He could be on his fucking overalls.
What do you call overalls? Those are not overalls. They're called suspenders.
Suspenders. Hey.
Suspenders. Let's get it right here now.
Wait, Menudo was Puerto Rico, says Jose Torres. They were? All these years, I thought they were not. Is that
I'm not smart?
have to check that out. So tonight we had Adam Rank on the show with us, and Angelo has now gotten several jobs for TTNL, as he obviously a few weeks back he's returned as our hype man. Every week he's back. He's going to be promoting every guest. He's going to be doing some parody songs, some reviews, food reviews with Angelo.
When you come to Connecticut, I'm going to give your kids a ride on the wagon with the mini bike. And there you have it, guys. We got a nice little wagon ride.
I can actually hook up the wagon to the new mini bike as well.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You can make your own Halloween haunted ride on the mini
Yes,
bike.
I can. That's
fun.
a good idea, Phil. I might actually do that this Halloween.
Put some corn stalks.
Get you a TTNL flag. We'll get you a TTNL flag to put on the back of the mini
I
bike.
got one here. I'm gonna give it to you when you come back over to help stand.
Angelo, do you have any idea what's resting on your head right now?
No. Okay. No. Shane, I thought it was like a spider, a big spider, you know?
It's right there.
Where?
That's
Where, man?
She's right there.
Oh my god!
It's turn around.
It's those tatas, Angelo. They were hanging right on your head.
No, not yours.
There
Not
they
yours.
are.
Angelina Jolie's.
Oh, okay.
On the camera, they're resting right on your head. Right on your head.
Okay.
Laura Croft's tits.
They feel good there. Let them rest there. Let them rest. You want to know a story? One time,
Yes.
I went to a hair salon,
Yes.
and this beautiful Arabic woman hairstylist was resting her breasts on my head while she was cutting, you know? It only happened to me once. It felt so good.
Did you
give
go
her a bigger
back?
tip?
No, at the time I had no money, but I should have.
He had no money.
They went out of business though. Those people went out of business.
Did she give a good haircut?
She did. I don't know what she was trying to do. She liked me a lot.
Yeah.
Liked
Did
me
you
a
show
lot.
up did you show up the very next day for another haircut?
No, but I did drive by the window and try to look for her. Beautiful hush puppies. Beautiful hush puppies.
Oh my God. Angelo, always keeping it 100.
That's right.
Marino never lies. He's just gonna tell you.
Ivan's gonna stroke out at this point.
Ivan looks like Randy Macho Man right now. Yeah, brother. He's laughing. His veins are popping out.
Oh God.
His neck is.
I'm telling you guys tonight, if you don't have AC, you're not gonna be sleeping good tonight. You better get some AC.
Damn right.
You have AC at your house?
I do. I have it in the attic still. I haven't had time to bring it down, but I have a ceiling fan, and I also have a fan hitting towards my body. So, I'm okay.
The AC and a ceiling fan, guys. Covered.
Do you wear pajamas to bed?
No, I sleep in gym shorts, and if it gets hot, I just sleep. I sleep. Oh, I take off my shirt, and I just sleep in my boxers. That's it.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got boxers. Do you have boxers or do you wear briefs?
I wear both.
Okay.
I wear both. Let's say if I'm wearing a suit, I'll wear boxer briefs because keeps everything in place for when you gotta dance. Just in case you gotta dance.
Right.
But if I'm wearing jeans, I'll wear just boxers.
There you go.
More mobility. It gives you more mobility when jeans.
More mobility, yeah.
Yep. Got a little movement.
Right.
Was there any movement when she was cutting your hair with her breasts hanging on you?
But I remember this was when I was 17 years old now.
Yes.
We're going back. We're going back in time when, I was getting excited. I was very happy. She gave a nice haircut.
You're very excited. Were you too excited or medium well?
I would say excited to the foot. Very, very excited.
To the foot.
Yeah.
To the fullest.
To the fullest, Jay.
Oh man.
Alex Acevedo brings up
Ace Ventura when the hot woman,
see it.
he found the puppy for the hot girl.
Yes.
Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura Part 1. That's how she looked like. Exactly like that woman.
Dude, he wears a suit when he goes to the weddings or a funeral.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes in a job interview, he'll wear a suit.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up tonight, what was on the menu for dinner tonight?
We had a beautiful light tomato sauce pasta.
Okay.
And for a second, my mom made chicken drumsticks baked in with a tomato sauce, but I hadn't had no chicken drumsticks.
As long as your mom
didn't for me.
As long as your mom didn't make that fucking meatloaf, right?
Oh yeah, man. No. I'm sorry. I didn't want to break my mom's heart, but I have to tell her when she messes up, she's got to do it right. Either do it right or don't do it at all.
Tell Ivan about what she did with the meatloaf and what you said.
It's not going to be like little girl when it says, the meatloaf. It's not going to be that way. I got to say, no way.
Well, what did you say to her about the meatloaf? Tell Ivan.
I said, Ma, let me tell you something. Either you do it right or you don't do it at all. Make sure you got all the right ingredients. Because something went wrong in the meatloaf. I'm not eating ground meat with no taste, you know? I had to tell her.
This guy.
Sorry, that was a waste of ground beef.
Yeah,
she was very quick in her beautiful
What is she doing
Italian
back
meatball.
there?
Oh my God.
What is she doing back there, right? She's fucking up the meatloaf.
Not her.
You're
talking about your mom in the kitchen. He was saying,
I know. She probably was tired and stuff. She didn't have to roll the right ingredients.
You let a few go. She throws a few balls here and there.
Yeah, a couple
She's not
of
throwing all strikes, right?
That's right. Yeah.
You got to let a few Go.
We didn't waste it. We don't waste food in my house. That's a big no-no. We did eat it all.
Did you
But
have?
we
Do you
won't
have a
eat
dog?
meatloaf for another year now.
I'll say this, Angela. I'm the same way. I don't like wasting food at all.
Maron.
Never.
No
will.
one can. No one can. You can't even afford it,
No.
bro.
It's bad times.
I used to look at my dad like, oh my God, Dad, yes, relax. It's just a little. Now I've become my dad. I'm shutting off lights. Eat all of that. We've paid a lot of money for that.
And that's a good way to be, Phil. That's the
Yes.
right way to be, just like our parents.
Yes. But I didn't think I was going to be my dad. I was when I have kids, if they don't like it, whatever, you let them make them something out. Now, no, my dad was right. Eat.
You must have been at the top of your fucking class.
Oh, I love Angelo Joe Marino. Oh, he's putting one in his mouth, Shane.
I know.
Get it out of your
Take
system.
this.
July 1st, it starts, Angelo.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do it.
We're gonna
Angel's gonna
keep
run
it-
out and buy like 2 packs like right now, 2 cartons.
July. I don't know if we could do it.
Think about how happy your mom will be.
That would
I
be
know.
amazing,
And all the money I'll be saving too.
You can show her how much money with
Oh
that
my
new
God.
savings. You can buy her a fucking cookbook for meatloaf.
Angela, you've been smoking since when?
I started smoking at the legal age of 18 at the time it was. 18.
Oh my God.
You know how I feel about stats.
When
Why?
I played sports, I looked down at people when they were smoking,
Yes.
I
Well,
never
how
smoked
did it happen? What made you smoke? You were against it.
It was peer pressure. There was kids that peer pressured me.
Cousin
And I
Angelo.
fell in the trap.
Fucking cousin Angelo, Shane.
Is cousin Angelo like the Wario to your Mario, Angelo?
Explain to me what that means, Ivan. Explain to me what that means.
So, like, does cousin Angelo like influence? Like, I mean, was he part of the influence of you getting like smoking?
Smoking at the
No,
R
no,
bar.
no. He never smoked. No, he never smoked. It was strangers that got me into it. Strangers.
Oh, they were the cool kids. The cool kids over
gotcha,
there.
okay.
Little peer pressure.
I only said that because Phil had mentioned it, and I was like, well, we were talking about you getting smoking your first time, peer pressure. I didn't know if that was part of the cause, but why? Like, I mean, if strangers got you into it, I mean,
Smoking at the R bar. Says
Strangers
Alex
got
Acevedo.
you
Say
into
hi
it,
to
friends.
Alex.
Friends can get you out, right, Angelo?
exactly.
Acevedo, how are you?
Angelo, do you remember Greg Braggs?
No.
That was the old Angelo. The new Angelo is back. Here he is. Tonight on TTNL, we had the great Adam Rank of the NFL Network talking Bears and what to expect as we go through the offseason. Everybody's dying to get football back on their TV and in their life.
That's right.
I'm not a baseball guy. I have no rooting interest in any of these teams or anything. I'm just waiting for football and working on home projects with Angelo and Steph. Steph put me to work, Shane.
I heard.
Stand in the deck.
I was on the phone with Phil for about 3 minutes today, and I don't think Steph stopped giving directions.
Stephen was doing a really good job, Phil.
She was.
With the
She
sander.
got out there. She got out there with the sander.
She was doing really good. I'm very
Yeah,
happy
she
Stephanie
did.
likes to do that kind of work,
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. She's willing to help out.
You know what she looked like out there, Angelo? She looked like an American Mustang in the fields of Montana.
Yeah. You know what she reminded me of? The girl from Tool Time. You know, with Tim Allen?
Oh, yeah.
Time with
Heidi.
Tim Allen.
Heidi.
Yeah, that used to be. Do you remember who that was before Heidi?
Pamela Anderson.
Anderson,
Who would
yes.
forget?
Oh yeah.
She was on it. Pamela.
She was the first Tool Time girl.
Yeah, what was her name? What was her name in the show? No, her name wasn't Heidi in the show.
No.
It was she went by a different name, I thought.
Really? I didn't
Pamela
see that,
Anderson.
though.
Am I wrong? Am I mistaken?
I don't remember the name.
Before Heidi, Pamela Anderson was Heidi, or was her name something else? As the
I don't
character?
remember.
Someone in
I
the
don't
chat.
But that was a
Someone
great
in the
show.
chat.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pray that Angelo could do this and quit these cigarette smoking, and we will track it as he goes through the season.
Through the month of July. It's going to be hard over 4th of July weekend, right?
Oh, he's gonna try to sneak a few. He's gonna have a sparkler.
But Angelo, we have your dad's cell phone number, so we're going to call him tomorrow, Phil and I, and we're going to tell him that you're quitting smoking on July 1st.
He's gonna be like, "Oh, thank you guys.
No more heaters for your baby boy. That's
No
what we're
more
gonna tell him.
heaters.
All
You gotta
right.
keep Angelo alive. Those cigarettes will kill you.
I know.
We gotta quit.
You know the actor George Burns? Remember George Burns?
Yeah.
He smoked until he was 99, or how old he was when he died. He kept on smoking those cigars, those stogies.
Hey, he's cigar though. It's different than that thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But
How much
Angelo,
is a
we're-
pack of cigarettes, Shane?
$1
Right
million.
now.
I couldn't tell you. I have
How
no
much,
clue.
Angelo?
$13. Round up to
$13
$13,
bro.
Yeah.
If that doesn't deter you, I don't know what can, Angelo.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to get the Jim Larison, Kerry Franklin salt.
You
Lick
could
that
buy
with-
you could buy a side cart for your mini bike.
Oh
By
my
September.
God.
If you didn't
Yeah.
smoke.
You could afford one of those side. You'd be like the dude from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Hedwig. What's his name? Oh, I don't remember his name.
Lisa.
Lisa was her name on Tool Time.
Thank you, Eric Pittman.
Eric Pittman.
Elmer, you're a close second.
Elmer was like 1 second
Right.
off because
Close
they were
second.
both
Angelo.
at 10:58.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up here. We have 2 minutes.
2
We're gonna
minutes.
wrap up. Do
All
you
right.
have any you want to come up to the camera a little bit closer and
Yeah.
give us
There he is.
some
Take
words
a
of
sip.
wisdom?
Little sip, little walk up. What was the dance?
The bulldozer dance.
The Marino bulldozer dance.
Yeah.
Here
All right,
he is,
gotta
folks.
take the shirt off for the speech.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
God.
Just let him keep it on.
Oh, it's getting hot here.
Kid's working with a torn bicep.
That's right. Yeah. I got to get surgery, I think.
Gotta get surgery.
Yeah.
Nothing a little duct tape can't fix.
Be careful,
Yeah.
Angelo. That's nothing to mess with.
I know, man. Let me tell you.
That's a lot of bicep. You don't want to fuck it up.
I know. It's already fucked up as it is, but I know how worse can it get?
Last thoughts. Last
Do you
thoughts.
have any
with
words
Andy.
of wisdom as we're closing out
Yes.
June here?
The words of wisdom is we're getting closer to July, and I see July as a patriotic month to be proud to be an American, 100%, ladies and gentlemen. And we have football, American football in this country, and we love watching it. We love talking about it, and we love the players that play it. Thank you so much for entertaining us, and we'll entertain you as well.
That's what
That's
I
all
like.
I got
Andrew. I love it.
July
Andrew.
is very, very important for 2 more things. It's Phil and my birthday month.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness!
Yeah.
Well, Shane, when you come here to Connecticut with your son, we're going to celebrate your birthday very well. Let me tell you
Hopefully
something.
it's not with meatloaf at your house, right?
No, even better. I think we might even go to Modern Pizza.
Right.
Where I never been before in my life.
Never been.
No?
Steph wanted to take him without you, Shane.
Come
oh
on,
my
Steph.
God, Steph. We can't bring him without Shane.
Let me know, because I don't know. Me and somebody's got to go on a road trip.
Ivan's
like
gonna take the trip.
I can't keep hearing like this has
You
been
might
years.
be able to get in on the Larison private jet for that one because Jim told us he wants to fly in for it.
Maybe Larison will tuck you in his bags.
I'm short enough.
I don't know. I was talking to Braggs today. He's like, Ivan's muscled up. He's rocked up. There you go. Ivan Vargas.
I'm gonna clip that.
All right, Angelo.
Angelo.
We're gonna roll out. You gave us some words of wisdom, and we're gonna look back at what you had to say a little bit before as we close this out. So we'll see everybody later.
All right, goodbye, Angelo. We'll see him next
Guys,
Wednesday.
Chicago Bears, I love you guys so much, and I'm so happy. And I was so happy to see Phil in person. Man, what a nice guy you are. And you too, Shane and Ivan. What a beautiful show we have. And we're just getting started. It's going to be so much.